Hello everyone, and good evening. Welcome back to SRW TV for round number 2 of the V8 Supercars Super Show. My name is Dano once again, and with me on comms tonight is Tyson McAvoy with Shibby, not Toddy, bringing us the lovely camera angles this evening. The broadcast tonight and the series, of course, is brought to you by DSL Welding, Promo Dept and Dragonrc. Of course, a big thank you to them for sponsoring everything that we do here on SRW. Tonight, we're at the track with walls galore, Detroit Belle Isle. Tyson, how's it going, mate? What do you think of the track?
Good. This track, well, you pretty much said concrete canyon everywhere. You turn, there's a wall. You take a curb, you hit a wall. So it's going to be definitely interesting, especially in these supercars. It's going to be a kind of like a Gold Coast race for the Americans.
Yeah, there is walls everywhere you look. There's a couple of tricky braking points, especially in the supercars. A lot of places for some lockups, a lot of places where you can have something go wrong. And it's going to be very interesting to see these boys tackle this track tonight, especially in the Super 2 and then in the Super 1 later on tonight.
Well, after watching the Super 2 boys last week on track on a beautiful open road track, coming to a tight concrete canyon, oh God, I'm excited for this. And then Super 1, well, we all saw what happened last week on what was Road America. Ooh, I'm definitely looking for, hopefully Harry Dodds is out there with his elbows out again, looking down Jamie Dyke, and definitely see those boys. Hopefully it's a tighter battle up the front, and you know, we'll get some more of that too wide action as we had so much last week.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Of course, the Super 1 was so hectic last week at Road America. That race was just something else. I think the Super 2 race was actually a little bit better, in my opinion, in terms of cleanliness. There was a lot of bump and running, a lot of nudging between the drivers in the Super 1. The Super 2, though, they like to keep it clean, so I think we'll see some nice clean driving tonight from these guys. This is one of those tricky corners, as we can see the 28 getting it wrong there, Callan Hodgkinson for Crisscross Sim Sport. Crisscross Sim Racing, is it? Am I wrong? I think we may have lost Tyson.
No, I'm still here. Yep.
No, still here. I was passing it to you there, mate.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Crisscross.
So I was just admiring that beautiful
racing
car there with the silver on the side. It was just, again, different week, and we got a new car here that I've already fallen in love with. Even though my teammate's not here this week, Mr. Cowie, he's having a nice day off with his mother. So to all the mothers out there, definitely happy Mother's Day to you, and hopefully your sons are out here showing off.
Yeah, hopefully they're going to do their mums proud tonight. Of course, some of these boys, you know, got some pace in them. We know Stead Miller's got some pace. He's currently set the fastest lap in this. This is just a practice session. So these guys do their qualifying during the week. There's about 3 sessions that run on a Monday, a Wednesday, and I think a Friday, is it? Or a Thursday?
Yeah, I think it's a Friday.
It's a Friday, and they all run a qualifying session. As we can see, one of the Sinkovich brothers getting out of the way there, and the 216 of Peter Pavlovich just going back into the pits.
Yeah, just showing off there. Well, as we got these two guys going at it, getting some practice in for overtaking. Just Jeremy up the inside.
Absolutely.
Gets it done. Well done.
As sorry, I think I might have the wrong pictures. Nope.
But we can start practicing, you know, our call out. So it's a good chance we got, I think, about 10 minutes to go on this practice session, and then we're off to a 34 lap race, which should be interesting.
Yeah, it should be really interesting. I think one of the more interesting things about this track, obviously, is those walls, but it's how technical you have to be with the braking. It's so important to get those braking zones right. You know, getting turn 1 right is a big one. We'll see some big lockups, I think, through there, and through the sector after turn 1. There's a nice winding off camber corner down onto the straight, and I think it's going to cause
think we just lost Dano there. I'll take over. But yeah, definitely it's going to cause some troubles in the braking zone. So I went out and did some testing before. Whoop, he's coming back.
Haven't done a...
He's definitely on the bit of lag there. So as we were saying, the braking zones are definitely got a big part. I did laps around here before, testing where I could push the mark and give my teammates a bit of a hand. And oh god, that was a struggle. I ended up pulling most of my braking markers back about 10 meters so I can get into the corners, and it was very difficult to get into the corners and get a good exit. So for these boys, I think they're going to be targeting a good fast in and slow in, and fast out, and really using all the grip there, because as soon as you use 5 laps, 6 laps on a hot track, your tyres will be cooked.
I think I have returned.
Yep, you definitely have.
Yeah, apologies for that, everyone. Yeah, so if I do cut out, it does just end up being a delay. As we're watching Stead Miller and Peter Pavlovich go around.
Look at the chrome work on that as he rubs the wall and ruins the beautiful paint job.
It's a lovely KFC livery from the Century Motorsport boys. You can see getting right up nice and close to that wall, and that's turn 3, I believe, is it?
Yes, it's turn 3, so we can already see a lot of these cars in practice have some like side panel damage already, and that's just because it's so close. You hit the apex, you're going to always use most of the track on the right and the left side of the track to get all the whips to open up the next corner, and he's probably just testing the limit, see where he can go. We got a nice DRS sign there. Wished we could use DRS in a supercar because passing would be 10 times easier. But especially down there, this is turn, I think, 6. Braking here is very difficult because you go from the right side of the track to the left side of the track, and then you try to aim in the middle so you can use all the apex and not take too much curb, because if you take too much curb, you end up getting a slowdown, which is a bit harsh for that type of corner. Then through here, again, it's a very first geary corner, and you've got to really minimise your throttle control, because if you use too much there, you're going to spin off into the fence, and hopefully we don't see that in this Super 2 race or even Super 1. And this pit lane entry on the right there as well, it's a very ordinary spot. But it's a good thing that these guys have to do qualifying, because I feel like qualifying on this track is even harder than really racing it, because when you're pushing into turn 1, you want to brake as late as possible, but when you come around after your flying lap, you really want to, not brake, because I use the checkered line as my braking line.
It's 28. Carl Hodgkinson hitting the wall there again.
And it's just practice, so let's go. Should be an interesting race.
Oh, I think it's going to be a very interesting race. It's going to be interesting. I think it might be damage control for some of these guys who haven't had a lot of practice, but you want to push, and this corner specifically, it goes off camber straight over. You can see there's just a little bit of a crest over the hill as you come through the corner, and that can really unsettle the car if you tackle the corner wrong. If your wheel's not straight, I believe there was actually a safety car, this was in real life, that spun here and hit the wall. I think it was an IndyCar.
Yes.
And so it's dangerous for everyone, not just the drivers in the race cars.
Yeah, and I think that safety car driver was doing the right thing, just pulling off to the left, trying to get out of the way so he could pick up the leader, and he definitely pulled out of the way.
Yeah, so currently in this practice session, now it is just a practice session, Stead Miller has set a second quicker lap time than Mr. Brad Wall, Troy Dooley as well, Peter Pavlovich, all close together. Now, we may not have seen, a push lap from some of these guys as well, so we might see some more. We know Paul Guerlin can do something. That's a lovely livery that the DSL Racing's got there.
Yes, that is. It's I love the chrome on the side. It really goes well with the black, and it just stands out as long as it stays nice and shiny for the entire race. I think those boys will be happy.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool. Almost like chrome splatters on it. It's really, really nice. The 74 car. As they scream down into turn 1, braking nice and early. A big front right lockup there. Got it turned in though, so must not have caused him too much damage. But that's definitely going to have compromised the run down into the straight. We just hope not to see too many lockups, because they'll be pretty bad.
We seem to be missing a couple of drivers tonight. I don't see Dylan on the list at all, which is a bit unfortunate. As I said before, Cowie as well, not here for this week, so must have other commitments. But we still got a nice jam-packed Super 2 field, and with a second gap between P1 and P2, maybe these boys are just testing the field, seeing where the boundaries are.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I'm sure there's so much more to come. I know Peter's got pace. There's a couple of boys there that'll look to put pace. But when you're in a position like Stead's up in pole position at the moment, I suppose we can call it. You've got that added little bit of pressure on your shoulders of that need to perform, especially after a good performance last week. He's going to want to keep that momentum going, and if he can't do that, then it's going to be a big knock to his confidence, and you can get a bit too comfortable on this track, and if you do that, it bites. It bites very, very hard.
Well, that's right. If you're sitting in there in the rhythm and you make one little mistake, that one little mistake could put you in the fence, especially if it's at the start of the lap.
Yeah, it certainly could be. This is a lovely on board with Jeremy Bush.
And you can see he's very cautious on his throttle inputs. He's taking a little bit too much curb on the exit of the last corner there, but still drives through the corner well.
Yeah, he's got a good run. Should be flat all the way through here, and it is. Crosses the line, Jeremy Bush. And I don't know if that was that an out lap, or is he going on a lap now?
It must have been a mistake on that lap.
Oh, he's pulling over to the side, and he's going to scrap that lap. We're almost ready to go green here. It's about 3.5 minutes. Before we get started tonight, everyone, just a big shout out to you guys at home joining us on Mother's Day. I hope you've got your mums watching at home. And we hope that you guys enjoy an awesome stream tonight. Obviously, our Super Show goes very, very long, but we hope that you guys stick around for the whole thing, because Super 1 after this is going to be one hell of a race.
Yep, we got 34 laps here, and then I think we got 40 in the Super 1. So if you're definitely watching, don't be afraid to comment, like, share, say g'day. We're always here watching, happy to chat. If you see a livery out there, especially that you guys like, we'll always put it on screen and showcase.
Yeah, get active in those comment sections, guys. Almost like the F1 commentators asking them to tweet them on Twitter.
That's right. Send us your tweets, your shares.
Yeah, yeah. Now, thankfully, we've got a little bit more interaction here, so we can really take your suggestions into account. As we have a look at Peter Pavlovich.
And if you feel like KFC, look, here's a great suggestion for you all. Have some KFC while you're watching. That's why I love this car so much. I can just walk around the corner from my place, grab KFC, run back, and I'll be ready for Super 1, and I'm going to buck the KFC. So, Super 2 KFC car, oh, you're making me want to go get some.
It's a very, very nice livery. Sorry.
I might need to go get some, chocolate sponsors and stuff. People might actually go and buy that. They see it on the broadcast and go, ooh, I might go get some of that. Great.
Great advertising, for sure.
100%. So I think we got about 20 seconds to go until we start greeting up. So it's going to be interesting to see who's starting where. And especially the turn 1. It's a very short run into turn 1. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can get the two wide action for at least 30 to 40% of the lap without carnage. But it is Belle Isle, it is a straight circuit, so it's built for carnage.
We are at the end of the session now, as Stan Miller goes with the fastest lap here in practice. As we get ready to go green. I don't think that's the right... don't know if
go with the timing there.
I don't know if that's the right one.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work for us. but we'll see who's on the starting grid.
So we do have Stead Miller, Peter Pavlovich, Daniel Schultz, Troy Dooley, John Nikoloff, Jeremy Bush, Brad Wall, Dylan Budzieni, Dean Sinkovich in the top 10, and Callan Hodgkinson rounding out the top 10. Following him, Andrew Lang, Greg Leake, P11, P12. We've got Greg Johnston, Stephen Sinkovich, Greg Schulten, Kester Mack, and Paul Gwelin rounding out the grid in P17. We're getting ready to go green here at Belle Isle. It should be a great race tonight as we get the lights ready, underway, as we hear the roar of the V8 supercars get going, and we're green here at Belle Isle. The 23 car doesn't get a good start. Here we go, on board with Jeremy Bush. Gets a really nice start into turn 1. Gets done by one of the Sinkovich brothers. There's already a car out. It's Stead Miller. The pole position. He's had a big incident into turn 1, and Peter Pavlovich takes the lead. Daniel Schultz attacking him into turn 3. A bit of blinking from him up the inside. That's not where you want to touch somebody into the corner. And there's a spin behind. It's Troy Dooley. There's chaos behind.
That's car 23 as well. We got multiple cars off. Car 33, 23. Oh, wow. Belle Isle.
Oh, another wall.
More in the fence. This is crazy.
Cold tires really catching some of these drivers out.
Has been called as well. We've just been informed. Wow.
I think that safety car was definitely needed.
Yes, well, we can have a time to breathe now after that crazy start there.
Thanks.
Yes, Stead Miller. Well, let's see what happens to him off the start.
So,
replay.
DSL action replay.
He got a slow start too.
Yeah, didn't get a good jump off the line. As you can see, Daniel Schultz and Peter Pavlovich, the two cars in front. Troy Dooley got up the inside, and he's just gone wide there. He's just lost it, yeah.
The rear just seemed to come around like he was drifting into turn 1. Cold tyres can do that, and probably still in the first gear. So it's a bit unfortunate for him there. And hits the wall and smacks that engine.
That is, that's very unfortunate. That shows the cold tires on lap 1 and taking that just a little bit off the racing line can really affect you. And I'm sure maybe a bit of wheel spin on the line didn't help that there. Maybe the rears were a bit overheated as well. So it could have been a number of factors that affected that.
Yeah,
and,
I think he's just really gassed it up because to see how much he just rotated, he must have just really gone on full throttle and just went sideways.
Yeah, really, really unfortunate for him.
So we can have another replay of John, which is car 23.
So the number 23 car is just sitting behind, and I think it may have been a lockup. As you can see there, yeah, on the brakes very, very late. Locks up into the corner, locks the rears, and slides off into the barrier. And that just sort of caused a bit of carnage behind as well. You can see the... I don't know who it was.
Just pulls it up there. But 33's also spun out just afterwards, so there's just carnage everywhere.
Yeah, the 74 getting into the 144 car, sorry, and then
23's involved as that as well. Just everywhere we look. That's lap 1.
That's Belle Isle for you.
Exactly. It's a very tight track, and these boys obviously wouldn't have been doing that on purpose. Just made that simple mistake and ran a bit wide and made that contact, whereas we're still under the safety car here. And Daniel is now our leader, car 64.
Yeah, Daniel Schultz, he's got away quite nicely. We can have a look down the order and see, Peter Pavlovich still kicking, even though he had a bit of an incident. I think may have touched the wall at some point. Brad Wall's into P3, and look at that, Mr. Sinkovich battling for a podium tonight.
And we did
Could
say
we
he
see
got off
him
to
on
a
the
poor
podium?
start as well, and look at that little, maybe that poor start helped him get to the position where he could avoid those cars in front of him as well. So he started in P9 and he's already up to P4. And the same with Brad, he started P7, he's in the P3. And I don't want to bring up the fact that maybe the commentator's curse on poor Stead, because you did say that this would be a costly race and a lot of pressures on him, and the commentator's curse already. Round 2.
It's a special skill of mine, really. It really is just a special skill. I don't know what to tell you.
I still think we've got at least 16 cars still on the lead lap with a lot of damage there, maybe 17. So still good to see the boys out there. Got a few cars that are banged up, but it's lap 3. Still under safety car. I think we might be going green this time by.
I think some of them have got fast repairs, so I think most of the cars should still be out. I definitely want to stay out and try and make some positions up. But yeah, you could see some of those cars were really, really banged up.
Especially at Belle Isle, you might not want to burn one of those fast repairs too early. You might want to just push a bit longer, get to your pit stop window, grab the fuel, and then, you know, grab a fresh set of car with your fast repair and off you go again. That could be what the strategy is for some of those boys at the back there, which is probably a good idea, not to burn one, keep it in the pocket and use it later in the race.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is just the one fast repair that these boys do have. So you are correct there in saying, you know, you got to maybe preserve it and keep it close. So
yeah, I've definitely had those races where I'd be keeping my fast repair in the pocket, and then 20, 30 laps to go, I would bin it and then bin it straight away after that. So sometimes it's good just to have in there ready to go, just in case.
yeah, because you can take that fast repair and then bin it the next lap, and then
it's all over. But we are going green. So it is a green flag now. The leader has control of the field and he can go once he's ready. He seems to be holding off nice and late.
is he race gone? So Daniel Schultz is, it's Daniel Schultz leading them away.
Oop, and there he goes. And we are
Very
green.
shortly. There he goes. Green here at Belle Isle coming through turn 1. They seem to go much nicer through the corners. We're getting a good look at Daniel Schultz here. And then Steven Sinkovic on board as well. He gets through the corner nicely. Both Sinkovic brothers up into the top 10. Callan Hodgkinson, is he going to have a move into turn 3? Let's have a look now. The number 28 car trying to make a move on the 888 of Dylan Budzieni. Can't make the move this time around. Stead Miller has taken that fast repair, and he's going to be carving his way through the field from the back, the number 24 car.
Yep, he has to do that nice and carefully, especially at a track like this where it's hard to pass. As he runs right there. Dean keeps it off the wall. Well done. But yeah, especially coming through the pack at Belle Isle, you've got to be really patient. You can't push too hard, especially with the mixed speeds of these guys in the Super 2 series. But looking forward to see where he can finish up, especially in this first stint, as he already goes for another move. And this is the rough side of the track. Can he pull it up?
Yeah, he certainly can. Stead Miller is carving his way through the field, really looking to get past these boys, but has to do it cleanly. You can't make any mistakes if you're going to do this, and especially at this track. I mean, we keep coming back to it. Those walls and the incidents, any form of contact will just jeopardize your laps, and you don't want to be doing that. So he's going to use all the track, all of the skills in his wheel basket to get past as he goes up the inside of Troy Dooley, the 333 car. Does he get the exit that he needs on the straight? We'll find out now.
Here he comes. I think he has.
Beautiful. A beautiful move from Stead Miller there as Callan Hodgkinson goes for that move on Dylan Budzieni. I think he's going to have it done. They're braking very early. Callan Hodgkinson, does he get it pulled up in time? He does. That's a lovely overtake into turn 3. Oh! The number 36 just sliding off in the background, and a couple of cars getting involved in that one.
As he pulled it back up, yes, he's back on track, which is good. I think he just did that on his own. I didn't see anybody there.
Yeah, it looked like... Oh, Stead Miller trying to go round the outside. What a move. Gets it done on the inside now. And he's got that move done. He is carving his way through the field. He's really making a statement tonight.
That was some good driving there around the outside. You don't really see that at that corner because of the amount of bumps on the right-hand side of the track there, but well done.
There's just no...
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing stopping him. He wants to push through, catch those leaders, and hopefully his pitch strategy brings him back into play here because with these Super 2 boys, I think we're only got a one stop in the bag here. I think the boys started on 55.5 litres of fuel, and they burn about 3 litres a lap, which will definitely see who's going to save that fuel, get that extra bit of fuel in their lap, and see if they can push.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be an interesting one. I've got my broadcast back, just looking at that on board now with Daniel Schultz, seeing Peter Pavlovich all over the back of him. Unable to do anything though is Peter Pavlovich. Can't get the run into the corner as we can see these boys coming around turn 4 now. As we see the 23 trying to catch Leaky, Mr. Greg Leak.
Yeah, I want to say turn 3 is a very hard place to
it's contact. That was a bit of contact. Sorry to interrupt you there. That was contact between John Nikolov and Mr. Greg Leak. They were very, very close behind each other. And has there been a bit of contact between Stead Miller and Greg Johnston?
Yeah, I think there was definitely contact there, but they seem to be racing on, like maybe it was just a bit of racing incident there. The boys haven't really lost much time, which is good. And Stead, he's still pushing through. It's a very hard place to pass around here. It's like turn 3 especially is probably the best spot, but under brakes, it's such a one-lane traffic through there. Because you take the curb, as I said before, it will unsettle the car, and we all know what happens after they unsettle the car.
Yeah, it's those rears that really lock up, and then you turn around, because, you know, once you lose the rears, it just turns the car around. So you'll see, as we see Stead Miller getting a really nice drive out the corner, just interrupting myself there, still not able to make a move on Greg Johnston.
Well, he's up to
P11.
He's made some moves already from the back of the grid after that safety car restart as he looks up the
here
inside.
He goes. He looks up the inside, very tight with the wall, side by side across the line, and he gets the move done, but Greg Johnston gonna have the run through the corner. That would have compromised Stead Miller's run through the corner, but not by much. He's still got a substantial lead. It doesn't look like Greg Johnston's gonna have a look up the inside, and Stead Miller has that move done.
Well, he's showing us how he can drive tonight, and it's always good to see the boys that make a bit of a mistake at the back, at the front of the grid. They always come through nice and clean. So far, so good.
Yeah, I wonder what his pit strategy is going to be now, though, because he's so far behind. Is he going to be able to pull off a big undercut, do you think? Or is he just going to have to run as long as possible?
Well, that'd be good to see. It depends on their tyres. The tyres around here, they normally get chewed pretty quick. So, especially with the hot track, if you get too much overheat in the back and the rear tyres, we've got a 34-degree track temp. So you don't want to really overheat those tyres. So with him pushing and battling, he's going to be on the back foot of that for sure.
Yeah, certainly. So this is Kester Mack and Greg Shilton that we were just watching on stream. Oh, and then there's Greg Leak spinning out. You could see just off to the side of your screen, Greg Leak just put the power down and got a bit power hungry, and there he is in the wall. He's going to have to turn that one around. He has got it back underway, thankfully. As that's all it takes, eh, Tyson? Just a little bit of a...
talking about that corner in the pre-race as well. That corner, if you get a little bit of sideways on the exit, you're going to get wheel spin into the fence, which is lucky he didn't get too much damage there.
Here goes Callan Hodgkinson up the inside. He's done this once before already tonight, and he gets it pulled up. It's a lovely move up the inside at turn 3 as Callan Hodgkinson makes up another position. That is into P4, and Dean Sinkovich is in P3 as well. That's the next car in front of him, so Dean could be looking at a podium fight here. Look at that, Dean Sinkovich just in front, the number 24 car.
He's got a nice gap to the cars in front, so as long as he can sit in that spot, not burn his tyres too much, you know, he's in a really good spot for a podium here.
Yeah, he certainly is, and it looks like he's actually gaining a little bit of time on Callan Hodgkinson through this back end of the circuit, so he might be on for a podium here, but, you know, commentator's curse, I'm not going to say anything. As you can see just how close Daniel Schultz and Peter Pavlovich are. They are right on each other's tails, and you know who's going to be loving that sight is Stead Miller.
That's right, especially if he's coming through the back. Nothing better than seeing the leaders having a battle, and he can slowly crawl his way back into that.
Yeah, it might not be by much, but he's going to be making that time up. As you can see, they're right on each other. Just a little bit of contact is all it'll take. And into turn 3 they go. Getting a little bit squirrely there was Peter Pavlovich. As you can see, he's going to have a little bit of a draft. As there goes Stead Miller, as there's a little bit of contact between him and the 23 car of John Nikolaev. As he gets that move done, and he's up into P8 now. So Stead Miller really on the charge.
Well, after looking at some data, so Stead's actually 2 seconds quicker to the guys in front. So he's really pushing to catch those guys. 2 seconds a lap, that's crazy. He's pushing.
And I'm just looking at the timing screen as well. Callan Hodgkinson is right on the tail of Mr. Dean Sinkovic, so we could definitely be seeing a move in the coming laps from...
and yes, last lap, Stead did do a purple lap, 131.8, and he's pushing hard.
He's pushing very hard. The leaders, for those wondering, are lapping at around 133.15, 133.4, so, you know, around low to mid 133s, and he really is about 1.5, 2 seconds quicker than those leaders, so he'll be on them before they know it, as Greg Leake
again
unfortunately
has a little
making another mistake as the 303 car goes through. That's Mr. Greg Schulten. He's got a bit of front end damage. As you can see, these guys are giving each other nothing.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight battle here because these boys are going to be trying to, you know, work together, push to get away from Stead. Stead's in P8 at the moment and he's pushing hard. I think he's about 11 seconds off the lead, if I'm correct.
He's not far off it, that's for sure.
But these boys, if they keep battling hard, it's definitely going to pull him back into it. And of course, P3 pushing.
So Stead Miller, for those wondering, he is, 11.5 seconds off Daniel Schultz as he makes a move on Mr. Brad Wall up the inside of turn 3 and makes it stick. He is carving it up. Now, Stead can go about a second faster, it looks like, according to his practice time. So we'll see if he can go quicker than that 131. He did a 132.7 on that last lap. Still 2 seconds quicker than the leaders, or about 1.5 seconds to be more precise, because it does make a difference here when you're racing. He's really going for it. As Callan Hodgkinson has gotten around Mr. Dean Sinkovic, so Dean's going to have to push to get back on that podium.
Yeah, and with the pretty sure in about 5 laps time, the pit window for these guys will open so they can get to the end of the race. On lap 19 is probably when they won't have fuel in the tank, so it'll be interesting seeing which guys will pick the window. So I think my calculations, lap 15 will be the window to go home. We'll see who takes the gamble.
Yeah, Stead Miller going up the inside, has to take evasive maneuvers, but gets the move done.
Well done.
Dylan Butieni. What a move. That is very ballsy from Stead Miller, putting on an absolute overtaking masterclass this evening here in the Super 2s.
He definitely saw that coming. He moved directly out of the way of that, and you know, I think he's got still no incidents on his car. It's a beautiful red car he's got.
There was a little bit of a contact there between Brad Ball and John Nikolaev. Apologies, John, if we are butchering your name, as he got a big lock-up. Keeps it out the wall, though. And just waiting to get that car back onto track, and he's kept it out the wall, so he'll be able to keep going, maybe at the cost of some tyres, but it's just a mistake that can happen. You lose sometimes, you zone out going into turn 3, and you can miss your braking point, and once you miss your braking point, there is not much you can do to recover it.
Yeah, I don't think I have a braking point for turn 3. It's just one of those corners you use your engine and your feel for it, and especially if you're battling, you always miss your braking marker with the car off your inside, or if you're the one who's overtaking, it's very hard to see your braking point.
It's interesting to not have a braking point. Tyson, I don't know if we should go into that more. I think every corner you need a braking point, but
Yeah, especially if you're using a car as a braking marker, it's probably not a good idea either.
Yeah, probably, definitely not a good idea. That's what those boards on the side are for. But here's Andrew Lang having a look at Steven Sinkovic, getting very close to the wall.
And that door closed definitely there.
Just not able to make the move.
I think there's a hood missing on that car in front, definitely.
There's a whole front end missing on that car of Steven Sinkovic's. So Dean is definitely the better brother tonight. Putting in a better performance.
Those aero upgrades he got, maybe from Mercedes, because I heard Mercedes are having problems. So hopefully those boys haven't used them as an aero package. But
great to see the internals there. You can see those air ducts on the front of the car. Do you know what those are for, Tyson?
I think those ones are cooling down the brakes, so they go straight to the brakes and cool the brakes down. I'm not 100%. I think Cowie would be more of the man who would know that, but that's my guess. And I think I'm right, because they do look like they pushed the
rear lock up there. Sorry to interrupt you there. Peter Pavlovich looking for a move on Dylan Schultz and having a bit of a rear lockup, was able to get it.
Is that Greg again?
Under wraps, that was Greg Leake, yes, that we saw off to the side there. He's not having
a good day.
But Peter Pavlovich, you can see now, those mistakes are starting to come out. He's getting frustrated. He's getting very, very frustrated sitting behind Dylan Schultz, but that's the nature of this track. If you're of similar pace to someone, you're going to struggle to get past. You've got to really set it up through the corners, really maximize those exits as Stead Miller goes into P5, so he's really hunting these guys down. As that last lap from these two was a 1:34.7 from the both of them. So if Stead Miller goes quickest again, which he has just done a 1:33.8, so about a second quicker once again.
So he's pushing hard trying to catch these guys. We're up to lap 13, so it's going to be close to that pit window, and it's going to be, especially with these boys battling at the front, who's going to blink first? Be Daniel or would it be Peter?
I think Peter will blink first. Is my guess.
Or they might go at the same time as well, especially for Cullen at the back. He might as well. And he's about 3 seconds off these guys. Take the chance to blink, go in, get some fresh tyres, put some good laps in. As you can see, Stead still pushing there.
As there we go, Peter again looking for it around the outside, just puts in a little bit of brake and then switches to the inside. A little bit of contact between the two as Peter Pavlovich has to take evasive maneuvers over the curbs, and that's going to cost him a bit of time, but they've redressed. I don't think anything will come of that.
Yeah, he definitely had to pull out of that one. There's definitely going to be contact there. That was well done for Peter pulling that up there and no contact. Well done. As we look around the field, there's a lot of battling going everywhere. We look at the moment. We've got Bradley Waugh, P8, battling close with Dylan, I think. Dylan? Correct?
Yeah, that is Dylan Pizziani.
So this is for P7 as he slides it out there, showing it off to the TV that he can do some drifting and racing at the same time. So well done. And these boys are lapping about 134 average speed. So a bit off the pace, but still putting on a good show, battling in the top 10.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, Brad Wall and Dylan Pizziani going very, very hard.
And you can see the different lines the boys are taking through turn 3 there. Some would take a curb, some won't use the curb at all. And the different lines through the exit as well, running wide. Some would run the shallow line there. So even for a tight track, it's good to see the difference in driving. Yeah,
some of them maximise the exits on the corner. Here's Stead Miller now going for the one of the admins, the owners of the league, Mr. Dean Sinkovic in P4. He's getting very, very close. He has put on an absolute masterclass. If he wins this race, I think he deserves a proper medal sent to him. What do you think?
Well, he's just got to get past the boss first, and getting past the boss, you know. Will there be nerves, you think? Let's see.
Certainly will see as we get right up close and personal with that rear end of Mr. Dean Sinkovic, as who gets the better exit. It looks like it was both pretty even. Will that draft come into play? Stead Miller going to have a look up the inside. Is he? No. He's going to set it up down for the run into turn 3. Takes a lot of curb on both of these corners. As, yeah, look at that, a much better exit.
Ooh.
Getting very squirrely through the corner, having to really make some big adjustments. Dean Sinkovic braking just that little bit earlier there, side by side through the corner. Dean taking a very nice defensive line, instead having quite a bit of trouble. Just going into this corner here, turn 4, you can see there's that grass on the left-hand side, which can also cause a bit of grief. With these cars being right-hand drive, if you don't have awareness of that left-hand side of the car and you take that grass, race over, straight into the wall. You're not going to be able to get that car stopped. But I don't think we've seen any of those incidents yet. As here we go, Stead Miller is going to have a look up the inside this time, is he? No, he's going to back off.
I think
so
the
maybe
braking would be
gonna,
too deep. No, he pulls it up. I thought he was a bit deep there, but he ended up pulling it up. So well done instead.
no, it seemed like he braked early on my screen, but maybe we're seeing two different things. You can see how much curbing he's taking through these corners. It's absolutely incredible, really maximizing the exits. You can see how close he is to Dean Sinkovic. Dean is just doing an incredible job keeping him behind.
Yeah, he's just driving those right lines, putting his car in those perfect spots, running the curb. As we see, Stead runs a bit more and eats the curb a bit, and Sinkovic just definitely stays away from him, which is, it works for both cars. Some might use it to turn, some might use it to rotate a bit more in the rear.
Here's a big one, yeah. So if you get on those curbs, you can really rotate the car a little bit more. As Stead Miller, does he get a better exit this time? It looks like he might have. He's going to pull to the outside. He's right alongside now. They're going to be side by side through the corner. There was a little lock up in front. Does he get the move done? They're still side by side. Maybe a little bit of contact, bit of net code maybe. They're still side by side through turn 4. There's no room. Stead Miller, does he get the move done? He does. Incredible driving from Stead Miller around the outside at turns 3 and 4. Give the man a medal.
Well done. Stead, like around the outside in the braking zone. Was thinking about the crisscross, he shaped it up, but I see the lock up there was Dean locking up, and it made the door open again, and around the outside. Too wide action at Belle Isle.
So just been told, it was Dean Sinkovic getting a little slide through the corner, that we've missed John Nikoloff, who has had an incident. Going to go to that now. DSL action replay. So it looks like that is turn 11, I believe. Turn 6. Just locked up into the corner, and he's had to take the escape road. Unfortunately, that escape road actually cuts off at the end. So he's going to have to try and spin that car around.
Yeah, it used to be open. They used to be able to cut through that track and take a big slowdown, but it seems they put the barrier there to stop that. But yeah, he locked the brake and he's just gone through.
So, back on board with Dean Sinkovic now.
I think Greg as well is now in the pit lane, 4 laps down, which has been unfortunate to see for Greg. We did see him spin a few times, and it's been unfortunate he's now out of the race.
What do you say we go on board for a couple of laps while these pit stops happen? We're coming up to the pit window.
Yeah, we're on lap 17, so that pit window, I'm pretty sure
now
is
just
open.
before. What do you say we go for an on board for a couple of laps, Tyson?
Yes, definitely.
Say we go on board with say Stead Miller. See how much ground he makes up in the next couple of laps before the pit stops.
So the last 6 laps, he's actually lost probably a second, and that gap stayed with Daniel the same. So it's pretty good pace from now the boys at the front. So well done to them. They pulled it down to do nice mid 32s, which is helping their speed. Instead, last lap did a 33.7. So should be interesting to see what these boys are.
He's in the pits. He is in the pit lane on lap 18. So he's gone for the early one, maybe going for that undercut on Callan Hodgkinson, maybe even Peter in the front, and we will see where he comes out. So he's gone into the pits at P4, and where will he come out, the pole sitter?
yeah, it's just going to be interesting what the front runners do, if they're going to stay out and run a bit more. I think they've only got probably 3 or 4 laps of fuel left in their bank, and to see when they respond.
So we're watching Paul Guerlin now, the DSL racing car.
Yeah, we've got that beautiful paint. It's got any scratches on it. Don't be confused by the chrome on the side. They aren't scratch marks. It's just the beautiful chrome work on the side of that car. The DSL on the side and on the hood. It just looks fantastic, that paint. That's probably my paint for the Super 2 this week. Definitely. So again, if you guys are watching out there, you see a paint you guys like, don't be afraid to chuck it in the comments which ones you like and which one you think stands out the most. I'm always happy to have a talk about it, showcase that car, and yeah, go from there, boys. So
Stead Miller has come out P7, 14 seconds behind the car in front, and we will see just how big of a difference that makes. There's the 888 car there, Dylan Pudzieni, who's had a lock-up, so he's take a freebie up into P6, and as long as he's got clean air, but there's a little snap of oversteer. He just got it under control, maybe pushing just that little bit harder. A little lock-up as well on the front right.
yeah,
Don't want to burn the tyres too quickly.
Cold tyres, wants to push hard, get up to those positions. As you said, he's got 14 seconds to the car in front, so he's got plenty of air. Let's see if he can use it.
Yeah. So Callan Hodgkinson also into the pits at the moment. Stead is going to want to get in front, and he does get in front under the pit stop. So he's gotten 1. Can he get 2 or 3 is the real question. As, yeah, the pit window well and truly is open. I will be right back, Tyson. Take it away.
Excellent. So we got those pit stops happening now. We've still got Daniel sitting out front. He's probably in a nice rhythm. He's got a big gap to the cars behind, 2 seconds, and then 15, 18, 18. So these guys all in the mid back, fresh rubber. Hopefully they don't burn it off too quick. We've still got, how many laps have we got left? We are 19 in. Just lost my time. Oh, Kester spun. It kept it off the wall, so well done. Gets it going again, no contact. He only lost 1 position there. Cool, well done. Runs a bit wide there again. Does he hit the wall on the outside? No. Well done. Who's that behind him? So we got Brad Wall behind him, chasing him. Would like to see that mistake because it gets him hopefully pushing a bit harder. In the Crisscross Esports team, Bradley Wall. He's closed that gap, definitely closed that gap. And he's one of our pit, who's made a pit stop as well. As Jeremy's in the pit lane as well now.
Yep, Stead Miller overtakes him as well.
Instead's just set a purple lap as well, 1:31.4. So he's definitely pushing, using those fresh tyres to his advantage.
4/10 quicker than his previous fastest lap. Brad Wall there just on the exit, just getting a bit squirrely. A little bit of oversteer maybe through the corner, having to catch the car.
Yeah, it seems like he's struggling a bit out front here. Kester Wall, he's just ran a bit wide on both those corners. And as we can see, Bradley just shaping him up, showing him that he's there. Pokes the nose.
Takes a little bit too much curb there, I think. As it looks like we might have a spin up in front. That's the 36 of... Oh, sorry. That was Greg Sholton, we've been told. Yep, the 303 car. My apologies. I thought it was the 36.
And is it just me, or does that car look like it's got a big piece of popcorn on the hood? I can't tell.
Looks like an explosion to me. It's Flix Mix, which I misread originally. The L and I is a little bit too close together for my liking. But that car is certainly trucking along.
So he's got off the wall there after his little spin, and I think those front runners have just come into pit lane. So we got Dean leading the race at the moment. and he's up 8 spots.
Yes, Mr. Sinkovic still not having come in yet. Now, Stead Miller is 3.5 seconds to Peter Pavlovich and Dan Schultz. Now, has Peter gone into the pits yet, Chibi? We're about to find out. He has.
Yes,
so,
he has.
Look at the ground that has been made up by Stead Miller. He is now 3.5 seconds to the net leaders, basically. So with Daniel Schultz also having stopped, these guys are right on the back of each other, and this is going to turn out to be an incredible sprint to the end.
So he's found 7 seconds since he pitted to those boys in front, even though they weren't battling. So definitely the fuels might be a bit, tight. We saw it last week. People took a little bit less fuel, tried the gamble to find that extra couple of seconds, and it didn't pay off. And this week, we're seeing the same thing with Stead. We're about to find out, hopefully, towards the end of this race. Hopefully he's got enough fuel, because he did pull a good gap, and he's punching out some fast lap times. So we're on for a good finish here, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if those tyres last, if he does get in front. Will those tyres last, is the real question. Now, Daniel Schultz has had that pit stop, is quite close together with some of the boys. Now, there's not too big of a gap between them.
Yeah, he's got a nice gap. He's pushing, hopefully saving those tyres with the... I think he's got a 3-second gap to the cars, 4-second gap to the cars behind. So
yeah, it's about a 4 or 5 second gap. So he's quite close, but it looks like he's
ooh, that was close to the wall.
Sort of maintaining the gap. You got to be close to the walls here, Tice. You got to be really, really close. Really push the limits.
Or maybe I don't push the limits hard enough, because I like my sponsorships on the side of my car. I like to show off. And he's, gave, as you can see, the KFC sign on the side. Has had a bit of a rub and disappointed. Can't show it off. The Colonel won't be happy. But if he gets on the podium, I'm sure the Colonel will be overly excited for that.
As Stead Miller's looks like he's really pulling that gap down, but...
Probably on lap 22. And Dean's still out in front. Hasn't pitted yet. So he's either the fuel-saving king, or I got my fuel numbers wrong. And 9 times out of 10, I probably got my fuel numbers wrong.
I'm sure we'll see Dean go into the pits very shortly, as he's dropping quite a lot of time to Daniel Schultz. And in turn, then Peter, Stephen, and Callan Hodgkinson behind as well. So he's going to have to pull the trigger shortly. I can't imagine he's got too much fuel left.
Or maybe he got one of those owner fuel barrels in the back of the car where he can just fill up on the go. I don't know if that's one of their tricks of the trade.
Wouldn't that be something? It's a bit of admin abuse, possibly. Bit of cheating to get a win. No, I'm only joking. Only joking. Dean has to come in very soon, though, because he's dropping quite a lot of time throughout the whole circuit. He lost about 8/10 in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, he's out front with a big grin on his face, that's for sure. Enjoying it.
Yeah, I think he's just taking it all in, eh?
Where was it? Ooh.
Lock-up from the Jeremy Bush, the number 45.
Just a nice lock-up, gets it away. Plenty of run-off down there, which is good, and he only lost 1 position out of that. So Troy up 1 spot after that, so well on.
I'm sure he might actually, you can see the front end of Troy Dooley's car is a little bit damaged, so he might actually be able to get that position back,
Yeah, I do see the right side of the car there, bit of, looks like he's definitely know how to rub with the wall, or a tyre barrier, because it's very dark on the side, or another car.
Mr. Sinkovic comes into the pits, finally, lap 23.
The master of the fuel has pitted. Let's see where he comes out, because he's had
Daniel
a
Schultz.
good
Peter Pavlovich passes him. There we go. And Stead Miller coming around now passes him as well. So Stead onto the podium after crashing out on lap 1. Wow. What a drive.
He's had a great drive. He's pushed hard, come through the pack. He, gave everyone a wave as he's driven past. Nice and clean battles, was awesome to watch. And now he's on the podium. And he could be still on for a good battle here for the win.
Yeah, he really could, as long as Stead can work together with Peter. There's about 10 laps to go here, 10 or 11 laps to go. There is, a little bit of race left, about, you know, half an hour or so. Oh, not half an hour, about 15 minutes or so.
You took the words out of my mouth then. We went through that stage where we've, you know, as we get a pass.
A move up the inside. That's a nice one from Brad Wall. Does he get it pulled up? He does. Oh, little bit of wheel spin on the exit. They'll be side by side again through turn 4.
Does he have a slowdown, or is he like, I'm not sure.
5, I think he's got it. I think he's got the move done.
Well done.
It's a great move. It took a lot of curb though, so misses the apex there.
He runs a bit wide.
Just a little bit.
I was going to say we had a little bit of a pause there. We didn't have so much action as the start of the race. Hopefully the end of the race spices back up.
Yeah, this is really the only battle on track at the moment is Jeremy Bush and Bradley Wall, as Brad sort of starts to pull away a little bit, as Jeremy may have scrubbed a little bit of his tyres, having locked up into turn 3, as it looks like he is pulling away.
Yeah, on a track like this, sometimes you lock those brakes, you overheat the tyres, and they don't like to cool down as fast as you would like them to. So, it's been, especially at a street circuit, you want cool tyres, you don't want to slide off and hit a wall, because you slide off, you keep sliding, it's just going to keep overheating, and eventually you're going to have to go get some fresh rubber.
Now there's another battle that I'd like to bring attention to, and that is Mr. Dean Sinkovich, not this Sinkovich, the other one. He is having a lovely, lovely look. Oh, sorry, it is this one. Dean Sinkovich.
Yeah, it is Dean.
My apologies. My apologies, Dean. He's having a look on those fresh tyres at Cullen Hodgkinson, and I think he might have him here, Tice.
Well, he's got the fresh tyres, doesn't he?
Oh, there it is, Cullen Hodgkinson, an unforced error.
Oh, the lock that he had
and
on that car.
Got it. That was full lock. I don't know how he's done that, but he's got a full lock and he's got the move done. So up into P4, Mr. Dean Sinkovich. Well done, buddy.
I was expecting Cullen to come back there with a crisscross. It looked like he was shaping up for it, but he ended up pulling out of it at the last second. So had me a bit worried there, but yes, Dean up to P4. Well done. It must be a 24 day, because we have the 024 instead, and then Dean. Now these guys have been showing off most of this race, so well done to them. Must be the lucky number for today.
Yeah, it certainly is. Mr. Dean Sinkovich putting on also a lovely show. How is that fuel saving? That's incredible. It took it, what, 6, 7 laps longer than the rest of the field?
That's right, and he's come out with fresh rubber and he's made a pass straight away. So his strategy to go long, and you know, it's working for him. Not hopefully, but the boys at the front might be battling as they're getting closer to each other, and then he might be able to capitalise on something. If a mistake is happening up front.
Peter Pavlovich just about to get into within 1 second of Daniel Schultz, and once that happens, Stead will start to catch, I think. So as soon as that starts to happen, Mr. Dean Sinkovich can also catch up. 20 seconds to gain though. I think he might have a bit too much to do, but I'm sure P4 should be a very happy result for him.
Yeah, he's up 5 positions from his starting position, which is good, and I think Cullen behind as well is the is the same 5 positions. So well done to those two. Of course, we've still got about 8 laps to go in this race, so plenty of time to make more ground. As that camera shot, oh, it's just such a good view.
It makes you feel things, doesn't it? It's so nice to see. Unfortunately, we couldn't see it on that one because there were cars in the way. As Andrew Lang rounds the final corner.
So Andrew's only lost 1 position in this race, and he's just sitting in his rhythm. He's not got a car. He's got a nice gap behind of 4.5 seconds to the car in front. So he's just trundling along with a nice rhythm. Good to see he's still in there, and the car looks pretty much perfect. So well done, Andrew.
Going through the back end of the field, that's Dylan Budzieni, who's dropped a couple of positions, I believe. Yeah, down 3 positions this race.
Yeah, he's made a few mistakes this race. He wouldn't be happy with his performance, but, you know, this track, you make a lock-up, spin around, overheat the tyres. But it's good to see Dylan still out there pushing hard.
Yeah, good to see that no give up. They're not giving up, these drivers. They haven't got the attitude that allows them to give up, I suppose. I don't want to talk about it, Chibi. Chibi's just talking a bit of smack.
Yeah, bloody Todd talking smack in the background. It's not very good.
Honestly, that Toddy, mate. Honestly, that producer of ours. Nah, only joking. No, I tell you what, man. That car on Monday night, I swapped it from 10-1 to 12-1. The steering ratio, undrivable. Undrivable. Steven Sinkovich has told us. Monday night was the NASCAR truck. Sorry for those who aren't aware. I do compete in that one, as we were at the COTA, the Circuit of the Americas, and that was a good night. I think for some of the leaders, not a good night for me though, as I was the championship leader going in, and I'm now I think sitting P15 in the championship. So kind of messed myself up there, but hey, I'm just there to have fun.
Commentator curse yourself, by the sounds of it.
Not really. I think I just made a stupid decision. I've been practicing with the 10-1 and just thought, 12-1, maybe we'll go a little longer, and it just didn't. And I'm just getting some insider information really quickly from Steven Sinkovich. He's sitting in the pits doing a 17-minute repair, so that's why he's in the pits. I think he's hit the wall somewhere, and that's the problem.
17 minutes, wow. Yeah, he's been in the fence a few times, and yeah, I'm glad I'm not paying his repair bill around here. As we flick back to the leaders now, this battle looks like it's going to, as we see you go right out sideways in the background there, throwing a scafey line out the window. You can't be in a Supercars broadcast without throwing that line out. Peter's definitely pushing on, and Stead as well. He's trying to catch these boys.
Stead made up ground. Stead has made up a lot of ground. He's now 3.5 seconds from Peter Pavlovich. I think it was about 4.5 not too long ago. And Peter is within that 1 second range. So these guys can all see each other. They're all aware that they're there. And, big lock up there from Daniel Schultz. He's had a big lock up into turn 3. Has he got it stopped? He has. But Peter Pavlovich is right on his tail now. That was a big, costly error from our race leader, and Stan Miller's going to see that, and he's going to make up a lot of ground on them. So it's now a 2.5 second gap. It's a 1.5 second gap to the leaders now. This is really shaping up to be an intense final 5 laps.
Yeah, we were quiet there for a bit, and now it's going to spice up. And we got, I think, 7 laps to go, so we're just in the perfect time.
There's been a contact!
No!
Peter Pavlovich into the wall. He braked very late. Stan Miller goes into P2 as Peter Pavlovich has made a crucial error and had a bit of contact with the rear of Daniel Schultz's car. We'll get an action replay of that shortly as Stan Miller now is on for the win again.
Well, within a lap, that is just crazy how much that changed.
So here is that DSL action replay. We'll be on board with Peter Pavlovich. So you can see he popped in behind and then went to the outside again. And that's when Daniel starts braking. You can see, he just broke a bit too late and got into the back and right into the wall. There was nothing he could do about it.
Hopefully there's not much damage to that car and he can still push and keep that 3rd position. But I did say that Dean might have an opportunity there to capitalise on a 3rd. As he's still in the background there, so it didn't cost him too much, but of course, 1 position there.
Yeah, Dean Sinkovich gonna hear about that as my iRacing has just crashed. Apologies. Yep, my iRacing just crashed.
We've still got the battle here with Stead.
Yep, I can still see the battle though, thankfully. Thanks to our lovely producer.
Todd,
Mr.
thanks Todd.
Yeah, thanks Toddy.
Backup system.
We would like to remind everyone it is Shibby in the comms. We're just giving him a bit of smack as he talks back to us. The Shibby, the double B and the double D is confusing me for some reason. So that's becoming a little bit of a joke, inside joke between us, as Stead Miller is right on the back of that Daniel Schultz car, and with 4 laps to go, and all the tyres, I don't know if Stead's going to be able to do this, but he's got the pace. He's forcing Daniel into some unforced errors, and will he get this pass?
Well, we know Daniel, he's been pushing hard to keep P1 most of this race now. I don't think he's going to give it away too easy. But as you see the nice bump and run technique from Stead, it's going to see what happens into turn 3.
Here we go, turn 1, looking for it around the outside, a very wide line. We know what happened when he took that line last time. Ended up in the wall, and that was lap 1 of the race. But here he is, P2, down into turn 3. They come under the Penske sign, into the braking zone now. Stead Miller just too far away to get the move done. He's going to be right on the back as there is 4 laps to go.
Yeah, 4 laps. Can he hold on for 4 laps? There's not many passing opportunities around here, but if you definitely force the car into a mistake, then the door wide open.
Jeremy Bush and Brad Ball. That's not Jeremy Bush, that's Troy Dooley. Just a little bit of a mistake from our producer there, giving us the wrong information. Thanks for that, Toddy.
Battle for P6 as well, so these boys are really pushing it hard on these last couple of laps to try and push and get that top 6 position.
Yeah, it's getting very, very close between these two. Can Brad Wall make the move? It looks like he's got the run. Can he hit the apex? Back to Stead Miller. The number 24, the 024 car. They round the final couple of corners. This is still lap 31. There's 3 laps to go once they cross the line. Is Stead Miller going to be able to turn around this race? This will be probably his favourite race win if he can get this done. He's carved through the field. He gets a good run through turn 1 and 2. Does he get the exit he wants? A little bit oversteer. He has to correct the car. That's going to cost him down the straight. As you can see, Daniel Schultz got a much better exit through the corner into turn 3. He's going to have to reload and do it on the next lap.
We can see Daniel's running a very defensive line, so he doesn't want to give this position up. And Peter might be actually coming back at these guys. He's 3 seconds off, so if a mistake or a bump comes from these guys, Peter's back in the game.
Yeah, any form of mistake from Daniel Schultz here will be one that he won't forgive himself easily. This is really shaping up to be a great race here at Belle Isle, and there's still more action to come after this one in the Super Ones. We'll be taking a short break for Cowie's Corner, I believe. And no Cowie's Corner this week, so apologies. Just some advert break, and we'll go refresh, recharge, and we'll be ready for the race. But for now, stick with us. We've got this action right here as a little bit of contact there from Stead Miller. He's getting impatient now, wanting to get past Daniel Schultz as soon as possible. Or will he maybe wait and do it on the last lap?
But again, I can see in the background a car lurking, catching him. He's about 2 seconds quicker on the last lap, catching him, Peter. So don't count Peter out of this race yet. As you can still see Daniel running that very defensive line into turn 1. Let's see if he runs the same line into turn 3.
Working as Stead Miller goes for it up the inside. Does that compromise his line? A little bit of contact. Big contact from Stead Miller. And they're both out.
They're
both each other out. That is the frustration of sitting behind Daniel Schultz. Stead Miller has gone for it, and that has ruined both of their races. They're gonna Peter Pavlovich from behind is gonna be thanking his lucky stars that has happened. As we'll get an action replay. Tyson, talk us through it. What happened? Look at that.
So we can see Daniel open the door a little bit, and he's gone straight down the inside, and as up the exit, they've made contact. Nothing in it, just a little slight contact, and they've both lost control after overheating
You know what's
their
happened
cars.
there? You know what's happened there? I've seen it. If we can go back and have another look at it, look at that Peter Pavlovich getting out of the way nice and quickly.
He just got through that as well, Peter.
It was a little bit of a wobble from Stead Miller that caused that one. We'll have a look again here. If you watch the rear end of Stead's car, he gets
Stead
on the
takes the
curbing.
grass there as well, yes.
He gets a little bit of grass. Watch here. There it is. Little wobble, and he goes into the back of the car, and they both get spun around. And after all that by Stead Miller, he will come up short.
Look who's on the podium.
What a race we have on our hands. The white flag is out. Daniel Schultz still trucking along as Peter Pavlovich has taken the white flag. He's about 3.5 seconds up the road. Almost 4 seconds up the road, actually.
Yeah, instead still in P3.
Provided he can keep this going through this final lap, which I'm sure he can, he will take the win here. Stead Miller is still P2, so not a bad drive from him, but I'm sure he will be kicking himself for going for that one.
And, yeah, you might have an investigation underway as well, a post-race penalty, something hopefully not coming to Stead, especially when he's in P2 after his great comeback race. Bit unfortunate.
Yeah, I think that's something that we see in the Super 2s. It's a little bit of impatience and, you know, maybe a little bit of inexperience, and they go for those moves that aren't really on, and it can end in tears, and it has ended in tears. So it's a learning opportunity for those boys. So
that's right. That's something they can put in their pocket for next time and rethink about it. Go back and watch the replay, see what happened. But at the moment, great racing. What a shame. That was a great battle. That's right, Dylan. Yeah. On the last lap now, 34 laps. Well, I think that honestly went really quick. To Peter, well done. Congratulations. No, Dylan in the comment section. His commented says, "What a shame."
Sorry, boys. I'll leave the comment section up. As there we go, Peter Pavlovich takes the race win here at Belle Isle in Detroit. That is what a race! Wow. After all that, Peter Pavlovich gets his win after being on the back of Daniel Schultz the whole race. Has come up and gotten it done.
Yes, well done. It was a great race, boys. Tight racing the entire time. Cullen up 6 positions in that race. Dean, I'm pretty sure Dean will be pretty happy with these 4 positions. He's gained P5, so well done to him as well.
Yes, certainly. I can't drag anyone. Oh, there we go. Got it. So we'll get yeah. So we'll try and get these boys in as quick as possible. Just putting that out there to the boys.
So there is a post-race penalty. Post-race penalty for car 024.
So that is Stead Miller, who has been given a post-race penalty.
30 seconds.
30-second penalty, so that's going to drop him back. I think P7, so I think Callan Hodgkinson is going to get P3 here. That is a big chunk of a penalty. We'll get Callan Hodgkinson in there. If we can, maybe. But it doesn't look like the boys are able to jump into the green room. We haven't got long until the supercars race. We've got to jump in there as quick as we can. We can't get the interviews out at the moment. Apologies, boys.
As you see, Peter doing a nice burnout to celebrate his win. Well done to Peter again. Use those rubbers, they'll be already on fire.
It was actually a real win, I think. I think that's a very good drive from Peter. I think he was just patient, didn't push too hard, maybe made a couple of mistakes that he might be kicking himself and wanting to learn from. But overall, he's got the race win, and I think that's all that matters at the end of the day.
As we see the final results there, as Todd's put that up for us. Excellent, thank you, mate. Dano, do you want to just read them out for us?
Thanks, Shibby. So Peter Pavlovich taking out your race win for Century Motorsport. A good win from him. A nice patient drive in the end. Stead Miller, it's looking like P2 on there, but we've been told it's a 30-second penalty. So it looks like he will be back at about P6 on the grid. So Daniel Schultz will be taking home P2 and Callan Hodgkinson P3. We've got Daniel Schultz in for an interview, and I'll bring him in here. Daniel, a good race from you. Unfortunate at the end. Tell us about that one, mate.
Just defending for dear life and not trying to put a foot wrong and leave room. And, just it is what it is when it comes to stuff like that. But, fortunately the car kept going, and we were able to at least come home. And they announced the car 24 got a 30-second post-race time penalty, so it's a P2, mate. So quite happy with that one.
Hey, were you happy with the race overall before that? Did you enjoy it? It looked like you were having a bit of fun. I know I love defending and having a battle with somebody, and I know some people hate it. What were your thoughts on it? Or what was going through your head through most of the race?
It was interesting. I was saving tyres from the start. As soon as I got into the lead, I knew I had to save them, and I knew it was really hard to pass around here. And I don't know, you guys have seen me race before. I usually send the car fully sideways around everything just to make sure no one can get around. But, hard fares racing, so I usually generally, if the car's ridiculously quicker or they get a really, really good run, I'll defend it for, as long as I can, or, as hard as I can, just until, obviously it didn't go the way it usually goes tonight, but it is what it is,
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, congratulations on the P2. I think it is confirmed now that it has P2. Thank you, sponsors. Just quickly, I will get Peter Pavlovich, our race winner, in. Take it away, Daniel.
Just like the big shout out to DSL Welding Service, Corp IT, Dragonrc, Above and Below Stump Grinding, Tree Minded, Mod Tint, Racing with Autism Australia, ABC Transport, AA Designs, and all the guys that were helping out tonight, spotting me and assisting with the keeping me calm under pressure. It really helped. Big shout out to After Dark Sim Racing for, letting me drive one of their wicked weapons around here.
Thank you for that,
well done,
Daniel. Bro. And Peter Pavlovich, our race winner. Peter, a tough drive from you in the end, but you got the race win. Sitting behind Daniel for most of the race. What was the game plan?
I did try and pass him a few times and failed, but pretty much just tried to stay with him. And then I'm not sure what happened there at the end, but that was the biggest decision to decide whether to go left or right.
Yes, definitely did a nice sidestep on that and dodged the boys there. I saw you creeping up on those last few laps, those guys, and I did say if they make a mistake, you're going to be right there to capitalise, and it happened. So well done.
Thank you.
You were sitting behind Schultze for most of the race. Did you have a game plan to get past him? Was there any section, or were you just wanting to capitalise on absolutely anything and everything?
I tried a few times there, but just at the back straight. But then I ended up locking up the rears and putting myself down the escape road. So I thought after that I just won't try it again.
All good. Well, we'll give you a chance to thank your sponsors as we've got to move on to the Super Ones as they're starting very shortly.
All right, so I'd like to thank KFC, Fluorine Studios, Lake Edge, and Madcore Computers.
Awesome. Well, stick with us, everyone watching at home. Next up, we have the Super Ones here on SRW TV. We'll be back very shortly with that coverage of the Super Ones here on SRW. Good evening, everyone. A bit of technical difficulties there as we are here at Belle Isle once again for the Super Ones broadcast. Tyson McAvoy has just dropped out to go have a chat to his teammate Harry Dodds, as I think we're having some SDK issues once again. We'll get that restarted and see if we can get that working again. But yeah, we've had an interesting broadcast tonight. If you're just joining us, welcome. We've had Peter Pavlovich in the Super 2s, the driver on your screen at the moment, as SDK just resets. He took out the win in the Super 2s. It was a great race. Definitely recommend tuning into that. We're obviously doing our Super Show at the moment. So just before the Super 1s, you can watch the Super 2s go around, our development series. And you can see how that goes. It's always a good race there. The Super 1s is our staple, but we do encourage you guys to watch the Super 2s as well. So, having some technical difficulties, unfortunately, at the moment. This is the Fishy Motorsports car of Jamie Dyke. I know that golden fish anywhere, as Tyson has joined us back. Tyson, Super 1 now. Just had an awesome race for the Super 2s. How do you think this one's going to go?
I'm hoping it's just as exciting as that was. That was awesome racing. There was a lot of action. These boys, as we saw last week, we went from Super 2 and then the level intensified so much. So these boys hopefully will put on a great show for us. And, we got a lot of big names in here again this week. And we all know that they won't leave anything on the table. So...
yeah, they certainly won't, with the likes of Jamie Dyke in here, Logan Barnett. Was it Logan?
There's Logan, yes.
Yeah. Just trying to remember some of the names. We've got Darren Lobb in there, David Kirby, Chris Ireland. Chris, was it?
So we've got a few names that we're missing as well this week. We've got Harry up there again. We've got David back into Jamie Dyke, Michael Whiting.
Alex Court's back.
In Court, yes, Court is back.
Court is back. Now, I only get excited because there are some interesting things that happen when Alex Court is on the track, and it is always a show. So great to see him back on track here at Belle Isle. Back to see him in the car in the Super 1s. We'll see, after him missing out on that first round, we'll see how he can tackle this round 2, with those new drivers in there. Logan Barnett, Darren Lobb, Chris Ireland. We'll see how he can tackle it.
And the fuel burn, I've been told, is 3 litres average a lap. And they both start with 72.2 litres. So that would be a 48 litre stop to get them home. When that will be, well, it's going to be interesting. Got a 40-lap race. Nice action. Before we get underway, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab myself some hydration and get ready for this call. Even though we've got 1 minute to go, so I'm going to run.
I think I'm going to go quickly. I'm going to go grab the big water bottle in our fridge and bring it over here. Hello, I am back. Just waiting on Tyson. I've refilled my glass. I've got a nice liter stein of water with me. I tell you what, there's nothing like drinking water out of a 1 litre stein, I tell you.
Oh, see, I ran to get a drink like a madman, come back to look, and I'm like, I still had 5 minutes, so that's a good thing. I was ready, I'm prepared, and my excitement levels are still up there.
So Shivy's also gone to grab a drink of
so
water.
Todd said he's just going to go grab some water. He said he'd be right back.
No, Tyson, you need to stop. You need to stop. It's getting to a problem now.
I'll rub salt into a wound,
Should be a good race this evening. 40 laps instead of 34 here on the Super 1, so that's 6 laps extra. So when will that fuel stop be, Tyson?
So that fuel stop is going to be quite interesting. So as we can see, these boys are doing 29.5s, and that's Logan Barnett out front, which is a bloody quick lap.
It's 2 seconds quicker than, or a second and a half quicker than what the Super 2s, sorry, were doing.
That's right, and the track temperature is exactly the same. So if I do my quick math on my calculator, the 3 litre average burn these guys will be doing, and then we times it by 2, it gets probably around half distance, so about 20 laps of fuel. When they decide to pit, I think, actually no, sorry, 25 laps of fuel. So when they decide to pit, it'll be quite interesting to see. I know my teammate's already said he's starting 13th. He's going to try a different strategy to the other guys. So if they go early, he's going to go long. If they do, like, not pit, then he's going to do the opposite, which is good to see. Bit of strategy play already, and then we haven't even gone green.
And as Chad Lewis, the 29 car, just stopped on track. He gets underway again. So yeah, this is another 35-minute practice session that they've got going. I think they've extended it just a little bit this evening. Alex McManus, the number 3 car for Team 3 Racing, coming through turn 1 and 2 quite nicely, might I add. As there we go. I'm into the session now. I've got audio, which is lovely.
Perfect.
Beautiful
so
thing,
I think
audio.
about lap 20/19, like we saw in the last Super 2 race. It's probably when that pit window opened for the top guys, and we'll see who will come in first. It's definitely going to play a big part, as we saw the purple sectors in the Super 2 race were set in the second half of the race, and you know the times are flying. So it'll be interesting to see, especially with these guys doing a bit 2 seconds quicker. And it should be a jam-packed race.
Yeah, some much quicker lap times, and all through the field as well, all the way down to, wow, actually, all the way down to Darren Crosby and Harry Dodds there. So top 12 drivers, top 15 drivers, all doing, fast lap, and that's why we have the Super 1 series, is so that there is, not a big difference between the front and the back of the field, and we can have these 2 separate championships where it's a little bit more even between the drivers. If you're in the Super 1s, you've got that pace, and we're seeing that pace certainly here at Belle Isle tonight.
That's right, and I think with these pace and the like how even is, we see Darren lob it around the corner. Is he going to keep it off the wall? He does.
Oh, damn it, Tyson. That was a nice one.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how these boys go off the line. If they're going to keep it, as we saw carnage in the Super 2 race, and we know these boys like to get hip and shoulder, don't get a little bit of room, so it will be interesting. As we got Jamie Dyke still here with the fishy on the side. There's a river next door. Jamie might go for a fish, or he might keep it clean. Let's see. Hopefully we don't see any cars flipping over the fence, but that's enough of my dad jokes. It is Mother's Day, not Dad Day, so let's get into it as we see the checkered flag. And, don't know, again, you can read out that beautiful starting grid.
Oh, no, you take it away. Take it away, Tice.
So Michael Whiting on pole position for Fishy Motorsport, and then Ty Byrne, Tim Harris, David Coleman, Jamie Dyke, Logan Barnett, David Kirby, Blake Delaney, surprisingly in 8th, Harry Dodds in 9th, Steve Kennedy in 10th, Stefan, Chad Lewis running out our top 12. And then we got Darren Lobb, Lindsay Hobbs, Chris, Darren, which is in Alex starting at the back of the grid. That's interesting as well. Both Alex's in 17th and 18th. So Alex
and Chris
starting last.
Island as well. We saw these guys last week doing some incredible drives. We've got the grid. That was not the right grid. We've got Darren Lobb P1, Logan Barnett P2, Blake Delaney, David Kirby, Jamie Dyke, Alex Cordes P6, actually. So we're not too sure what's happened there. We're getting ready to go green here. You can hear the cars roar to life as we get ready to go green. And we're away here at Belle Isle for the Super Ones. A great start from Darren Lobb on the outside. Logan Barnett got a terrible start off the line. Blake Delaney up into P2, and Jamie Dyke also getting in front of him. He's now in P4. He gets a good run off the corner. He's going to be really chasing Jamie Dyke. He's going to be on the outside into turn 3. The number 11 versing the number 80 car. They're going to be very, very close side by side. A little rear lockup from both of them. And Logan Barnett round the outside in turn 3, lap 1, got the move done. It's pretty clean all the way through. There's 29 and the 27 bumping together. That's very, very good driving. It's Chad Lewis and the 27 car of, I think it's Leslie Hobbs. Lindsay, sorry. Apologies, still getting used to the names. Get there eventually. I think I'm doing pretty well. So far, as we're seeing the 93 of the locked on, the 623 of Chris Ireland getting it through. He was one of our leaders last week. He did very, very well as he has a move up the inside. Has he overcooked it just a little bit? No, he got it. Held that up nicely.
He got that done well. And Chris is braking there. Definitely last of the late breakers in that corner, and he pulled it off nicely.
Yeah, you can see the lines that these guys are taking. Oh, a full lock there from Harry Dodds.
He ran a bit wide there and missed the apex on that exit.
The lines taken through the corners are very sort of similar. Keep it out the wall. Let's hit the wall, Chad Lewis. The 29 car, he's got a train of cars behind him, and he's just nicked that wall in the front left. I don't think it's going to be too substantial of damage, as Logan Barnett is having a look at Mr. Blake Delaney. They're very, very close all the way down into P10. So
as you can already see as well on the side of Mr. Delaney's car, he's already got some scrapes and bruises on the left side of his car, so he's had a rub with the wall already.
Yep, you can see there's a little bit of a gap sort of forming between the two packs in the field, and Chris Ireland is stuck behind, who is it? Harry Dodds. And Chad Lewis. And the more that he's stuck behind them, he's not going to be able to get in front into that leading pack. And that leading pack is all the way down to P9. So it's going to be interesting as he pulls to the outside. The outside turns to the inside. He brakes late. Does he get it done? That is Logan Barnett up the inside of Blake Delaney. What a move!
Yeah, he got there. He took a bit too much curb and it nearly flipped him onto the wheel spin of death, but he actually got it pulled off. Well done.
That is some incredible driving, and he's just overtaken both of the Fishy boys in about 2 laps. So that is some, or 1 lap actually. So that's a really good drive from Logan Barnett to get back into the podium positions. And he's now got Darren Lobb to chase in front. This is Chris Ireland and Harry Dodds. We're watching here. The battle
we heard as early as well. David had to pit early from P4. So he must have had a jump start or something like that. We'll try and find out that information.
As Chris Ireland getting right up the back of Harry Dodds. Oh, he's had a big moment. Slams into the wall. Chris Ireland is going to drop to the back of the field and pushing just a little bit too hard behind Harry Dodds. He's put himself in the wall, and that is no one's fault but his own.
Oh, yeah, he got that bit of wheel spin up that exit and just went sideways. As you see the replay here, sitting behind Harry.
Replay.
Sitting there, runs a nice shallow line. It could have been the aero wash, or does he get a bump from behind Harry?
I think he just had that much speed and maybe had a bit of contact with Harry, and it just unsettled the car. And yeah, you can see the massive damage to that front end. Held the brakes nicely though.
And
he
kept off the racing line. Well done. And he stayed out of trouble. Just unlucky there. He ran a bit wide, or up behind Harry, hit the aero wash, and around he went.
So Darren Lobb setting the fastest lap, a 1:30.07. I don't think it was valid though.
He must have had a rub with the...
No, it was. I do apologize. It was a 0.65, so that 0.7 on my SDK live timing is correct.
Yes, it's just come through.
As we watch the boys go through turn 1.
So it's to start to settle in and get into a rhythm.
Was that a bit of a slide from Logan Barnett, or was I seeing things?
But yeah, I think it was definitely a slide there. The boys are definitely pushing.
They're pushing a lot harder. Yeah, you can see just how much harder these boys push to the Super 2s. Those of you that stuck with us from the previous broadcasts, you can just see how much more these guys can push these cars to the limit. Stephen Kennedy having a look at Alex McManus here, P13, P14. Oh, that was a bit of contact with the wall. I don't know if you guys heard that. There was a bit of contact with the right-hand side of the wall. I definitely heard something there.
No, I didn't hear the contact, but we could definitely see the car in front struggling for grip and just running wide, missing a few apexes, so see if he can capitalise on the mistakes in front from the M1 racing team.
You can see how late the downshifting is. You can hear it, really hear it.
Well, it's a good part to use the engine to brake around here, because if you use too much of the downshift, you snap and hit the wall, because there's such a low gear ratio as well.
With this camera angle, you just see how many Fishy Motorsports cars are in the top 5. Blake Delaney, Jamie Dyke, sorry, top 6, Michael Whiting, David Coleman's in there as well.
Yep, up in there, P7 David is.
Incredible. So Fishy Motorsports really going for the constructors here, but Darren Lobb is starting to dominate out in front, almost a 2.5 second lead from the cars behind.
Yeah, he's got a nice gap now, just get into that rhythm where he can just, you know, keep building that gap, get away from Logan so he can't get that undercut when it comes into pit time. Yeah,
you can see, look how close those boys are to the wall. That is the difference in lap times between the Super 1s and the Super 2s. These boys in the Super 1s know how to use every single centimetre of this track to their advantage. And it really is centimetres. You can see just how close Darren Lobb is to that wall on the left-hand side. Not really the best camera angle right here. We're working on that. You can see just how close he is on the right-hand side there. And yeah, just here. You can see he'll go right up against that wall, as close as he dares. We're in the wall here in the camera angle. That's how close he is to the wall. So these boys leaving it all on the track.
Yeah, if the boys are leaving it on the track as well, it's good to see them pushing hard, getting all the maximum out of this car, especially at Belle Isle. You know, you make, as we said in the Super 2 race a lot, you make that one mistake, you're in the fence, as we see someone drift right there. As we jump on board, watching David Coleman try to catch his teammate, which is always interesting. He's seeing how these boys will play it out. Will they fight it out and battle, or will they just follow the leader? This is back with Steve Kennedy, sitting behind in P14 at the moment, chasing down Alex McManus. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yep, Alex McManus.
Perfect. And then we got Tim Harris in front of him, and then Harry Dodds in 11th. And then Chad is in the 10th position, so rounding out the top 10 there. Yeah, and it's good to see we haven't seen the safety car yet, which is good. And again, commentators first, I'll cross my thing right now. It's not my fault, I'll blame someone else, but we haven't seen it yet, so that's a good sign.
As you can see, some of these boys pushing so hard that they're getting actually a bit of slide out of the corners. Oh, was that a bit of contact in front that we could see there? Now, I do want to ask you, Tyson, is the slide beneficial through the corner? I have heard from a couple of people that the slip angle is a real thing.
So
is that a thing that helps these cars get through the corner?
I love a car that will step out in the rear to help me rotate through the corner. I can get on the power a lot more and use the car a lot better through corners. At a track like this, I probably wouldn't want it too much because it might over-rotate. I'd rather a stiff, stronger car. But like other people might be different, as we see a move here. I think Jamie Dyke.
Oh, Jamie Dyke having a look at Alex Court, and he's got it done. Great move for P4. Just see how close, look at that, so close to the wall. And that's all the difference is.
Yeah, it's so close to the wall
and
pushing each other as well and battling hard. And
Yeah, it's knowing how to use the full
Jamie,
length
I
of the
think,
track.
just hit the wall then, as we said.
It did look like a bit of a wall touch there. We'll have to have a look at the side of that car, see if there's any damage. Doesn't look to be a large amount, as Alex Court really has a look.
Yep, I thought he was
turn
having a look there as
6.
well. But he decides otherwise. But yes, there is a scratch notable on the left rear of Jamie's car.
I don't know how you can see that, I can't see it.
Oh, it's just at the behind the fish, unless it's the fish tail and my eyes are playing tricks on me, but I hope I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Shout out to you boys and girls at home watching us here on Mother's Day. We really do appreciate you guys coming out and supporting the stream. I believe I've just been told there's 40 of you guys watching at home, which is absolutely stunning. We love to see you guys supporting us here on the stream, and make sure you guys are following your favorite series, your favorite drivers. Let us know who they are, who you're supporting, and we'll be sure to give them some more screen time, maybe if they're not getting a lot at the moment.
And don't forget to like and share and tag your
course,
friends, tell everyone about it. You know, we're always watching the chat. I'm watching the chat. I think Todd tells us as well when people are here watching the chat. So definitely a big shout out to you guys.
You're gonna actually, like, I think he's gonna quit. Shibby's just gonna shut down the stream, I swear. For those of you who have just joined us for the Super Ones, we've had a running joke tonight that Shibby is Toddy. And I think Tyson just doesn't want to let it go. So
Well, I didn't start the joke, so I've got to continue it and feed it in there.
It's Shibby in the producer's box, not Toddy. So if we do call him Toddy, it is just a joke. We mean no harm
Get in
by
the comment
it
section
at
and
all.
say thanks to Todd as well for doing the great work behind the scenes and changing the camera. So please, everyone in the comment section, jump in there and say thank you. It's most welcome.
If we can get everyone saying thanks, Todd, in the chat, I would love it. That'd be the best thing ever. But it really is, it really is a big thanks to Shibby, who is doing an awesome job tonight with the SDK here in the Super Ones and Super Twos.
Yeah, and without him, we wouldn't have this great broadcast. So definitely, big thanks. And as we're still on board of Alex Court here, thoughts on Delaney? Well, my thoughts on Delaney, Rick, is seems to be sitting a nice rhythm, sitting at a nice rhythm right now. 2 seconds behind in P3, so looking sharp and fresh. Got a nice gap to the boys behind. So
Well, I wouldn't
no,
call
it's
it a
not-
nice gap.
it's not really a nice gap. I was looking at the wrong car. He's got his teammate behind him, Jamie. So you know, Jamie would just sit there, put him under pressure, and wait for him to make a mistake. But we know definitely Blake won't make many mistakes. As we saw last week, he had a good race. Wasn't really much drama in his race last week. As you can hear then, he just saving a bit of fuel. He lifted off, hit the clutch. So it was a good pick up there. And he's doing it again.
Hear that. I'm sure we'll hear that quite a bit. And I think some of the other drivers will be doing it as well. Yeah, you can hear clutch in all the way through. And
That
you
is
can
a
then hear
big
the
fuel
engine
save.
come back in. So what you guys want to be listening out for, we'll leave you guys to the sound. You'll listen. The engine will almost sound like it's cut out. And then once they get into the braking zone, they'll lift off the clutch and go onto the brake, and it'll sound like it cuts back in again. So we'll listen out for that as they come into turn 1 and 2. As we'll just go quiet here, and we'll have a listen as they come into turn 3.
It doesn't sound like much from Jamie, but he is trying to keep Alex at bay, which also helps Blake save fuel. So if these guys are battling by, he can just hit his numbers and, you know, keep getting that clutch in, as we can hear on his shifts.
You can hear it. You can
So we'll
really
just-
hear it. So I think that might be a tactic from the Fishy Boys. Could it be Jamie to keep Alex behind while Blake saves the fuel, goes longer? Alex can't save the fuel behind. And I'll go quiet here. You can hear it. Right there.
And he would do it a lot, especially in this little slow part.
And right here.
So
And right here as well. So clutch in now. Sorry? Now. Now.
There we go.
Sorry, I pulled the trigger a bit early there.
But it does save a lot of fuel in that middle sector, but it's not costing much time at all. So if you're looking at his delta, seeing what's happening behind, and to be honest, I think he's pulling a gap towards
Ooh, bit of a
Jamie.
lock-up. Bit of a
But
lock-up.
yes, he locked up there as well. But that's where I struggle when I save fuel. I will hit the clutch in, and then sometimes I'll be too focused on my clutch and then miss my braking marker and lock up a little bit. So it is a little treating technique. It's not as easy as it sounds, but
An art
the
form,
boys at the
that's for
front
sure.
is definitely an art to it. Like Blake is sitting 2.1 seconds behind Logan at the moment. So sitting comfortable, pushing hard, and trying to maintain that fuel level. And it is only 3 litres average a lap. So if he can save, a couple of litres here and there, in 4 laps time he's got another lap of fuel. So
You can hear the downshifting of Alex McManus into turn 3. He's keeping both of the M1 cars at bay. That is Stephen Kennedy and Darren Crosby. Apologies. The M1 used cars, the number 66 and the 55. Both of those boys. I don't know if they're battling hard. I think they're probably going to work together.
a big shout out to you guys. Thanks for tuning in from New Zealand, bro. Like that's definitely a bit late for you guys. It'll be about around midnight, I think. So big
It is
shout out to you
11:34.
watching Alex Court. So he said he's one of his mates from Tassie. So thanks for tuning in, bro. A late night to SRW. So thank you.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, I'm also here in Kiwi land doing the broadcast, so it's a bit of a late one for me as well.
Fuck, it's not that late. It's not even Monday yet.
Exactly right. As we can see these boys go through turn 3. It's a lovely camera angle there.
Yeah, it shows a great transition through here. Different braking points as we see Harry's car very bent at the front there. So he's got a bit of damage. And he's still in P11. He's up 1 position at the moment. But as we can see, all the cars feeding through there, their gaps across the field, they're all spreading out. And pushing
That's a
onto
5-second gap at this point.
Yeah.
It's just to hit a 5-second gap, which is incredible. Absolutely insane from...
So yeah, Darren's doing
from Darren Lopp.
1 minute 30s, and he's about 5/10 quicker average a lap to the cars behind. So he's pushing hard. He's got a little bit of damage there, and he gets a little bit sideways, hits the wall on the exit. But you can hit the wall so many times and your car can stay straight. But as soon as you touch the front of the car, you get a little bit of spent steering, and then it's a bit harder to drive around here.
Yeah, Logan Barnett's having to push a little bit. I wonder if he's fuel saving, if we can go on board with him. But this battle is heating up now. Alex Court having a look at Jamie Dyke. He's going to have a move around the outside. We're on board now. No, he can't. So it's really
Jamie closes
heating up
that door straight away. It's a little bit squealy on exit. Oh, gets squealy again on the C and the gear shift. So Alex definitely putting all that pressure on. Bit slow on exit. These guys are really having a push now. We're on lap. Once I find it, we're on lap 13. So lap 13, these guys have started their fuel saving, and now they're going to really push and try and battle each other. I think that pit window will open in about 6 laps time. As Alex does look down the inside, has to pull out. Ooh, well done.
Oh, sorry guys. Just had a bit of a sneezing fit. Had to pop out for a second. Oh, that's weird.
So these boys are still trying to push hard. It's good to see these guys racing clean. There was a bit of Jamie got a bit sideways last week, I think, with the car car was it? Harry Dodds, that's right, 081. They get 3 times they had contact into turn 1, but it's good to see Jamie still pushing out there, sitting comfortably nice. Well, not comfortably, but P4, and Alex sitting behind. So
God, I'm so sorry. I'm still sneezing. This is
But I see Rick. Hello, Rick. I see you're new to sim racing. So this track is Belle Isle, and it's in Detroit, I think. Detroit, Belle Isle. That's correct.
Yeah, it's Detroit, Belle Isle. Is what we're running tonight.
And I think the IndyCars race on this mostly, and like watching supercars go around here, I don't see how IndyCars.
Oh, a bit of a
got the run now.
moment there from Alex Court. He's got the run on Jamie Dyke, but wanting to get involved is David Coleman. Alex Court up the inside, he's around the outside, turns into the inside, and he's got the move done on Jamie Dyke. So now he's going to be attacking Blake Delaney, but it's not over yet. Blake Delaney almost has a bit of contact. Is there a bit of contact with the rear end of Alex Court's car? Alex Court's car. That's a tongue twister.
It was a tongue twister. But Jamie is ready to that position there. He pulled out of it, and so did his teammate just backed out there. He didn't want to go make it 3 wide into that back straight corner. That would have been a bit crazy.
Yeah, it certainly would have been. David Coleman wanting to get involved, but Alex Court finally getting past the Fishy boys. And look, as you can see, he's starting to pull a little bit of a gap now. Not too much of one, but it's certainly one that is noticeable. Just having a look at the boys now. Into turn 3, you can see there is a pack of 4 of them, and out of those 4, 2 are Fishy Motorsports cars.
We actually have our first pit stopper as well. David Coleman is in the pit lane. So he's the first one out of our mid-pack / front pack to pit. And that is quite early. Lap 15.
Lap 15, yeah, very early. So, with that early pit stop, Tyson, do you think he's going to be going long with the fuel saving?
Well, now I don't think he will have to fuel save. I think it might be a 1 stop on the fuel. And it depends on how much he can push up this tyre. Maybe rely on a safety car later. It could work in his favour. Because he was sitting behind his teammate there. So struggling, he could have saved that fuel so he can pit, and let's just see what it's going to do. But you know, fresh tyres on this track going long, it's going to hurt later.
Alrighty, so you guys heard it here first. Getting on board with Logan Barnett now as he attacks Blake Delaney, who has gotten past him, I believe. Logan Barnett was in P2 not long ago. Yeah, we'll have a look at that overtake now. DSL Welding action replay. As, yeah, Logan just locked up into turn 5. No, sorry, turn 6.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a lovely move. Something's gone wrong with my iRacing.
So we go back live now with Logan Barnett. It'll be interesting what he does in these few laps. There's one person normally takes a pit stop, the rest normally follow suit to try and cover off and defend that position. As Michael Whiting is very close to his teammate, but sitting still behind. As we got a 4-car battle here, a P5. Oh no, P4, sorry, P4. But these guys have well behaved. They're not really, passing each other, sitting behind, saving the fuel. So hopefully in the second part of the race it might heat up a bit after the pit stops and the cars get fresh rubber, because especially with a Belle Isle, very tight, narrow track, it's very hard to pass.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to pass here. I think track position for pit stops is very important. Getting those stops right, getting it, nailed down is very, very important. You don't want to lose any time than you need to under pit stops. So on board with Darren Crosby now. And look at him still attacking Alex McManus.
These guys are in their own little battle at the moment, sitting on the back end of the top 10, sitting their laps, and probably not long away too as well from their pit stop, as we got 4 cars in front of them with their 4 second gap away. So these guys are just cruising.
Yeah, cruising is certainly the word. Oh, very close to the wall there. Sorry, I believe I'm watching the wrong thing.
Logan Barnett.
Logan Barnett has had a crash, so I was right, I suppose. I'm having some issues personally with.
He's rejoined as well, just in front of a car. Oh, that's not good. As we get the action replay
of Logan Barnett.
Has he done a self spin?
I think it was a rear lockup or a front lockup.
No, he's gone too deep.
He has gone
hit the wall.
Too deep. Yeah.
That's a bit unlucky. There's a little bit of wall that sticks out there.
Yeah, just that sticks out. And he's lost a lot of ground there. Lost 6 positions, according to Shibby. That is a big, big loss.
Jamie Dyke as well is in the pit lane. So another one of the boys, Fishy boys, who decided to take that pit stop nice and early. It's 18 laps in. So just on the cusp of halfway, which I think is a perfect time to pit. Just near halfway, because if you can get there the first time, you surely can get there the second time. Ooh, we got Harry Dodds around in the back gate.
Chad Lewis.
Harry Dodds is in the fence, turn 2 or 3.
That's turn 3. That's turn 3.
Can he get it around? There's a lot of damage on that car. As he gets it off the grass. You see an action replay. I think it's just he's gone too deep and he's just lit it up and tried to drift it through the corner and it's smacked straight into the wall. He definitely hasn't pitted yet, so it's kind of good. He's got a faster pair in the back pocket, but as we go back to live...
See Alex McManus now really under the pump from the number 66 car.
I like that feature in the grill there. He's got some lightning bolts, so he's definitely coming to get him.
Lightning McQueen style. I do like those lightning bolts in the grill there. I see them too. Very, very nice.
Oh, he's had a couple of offs there and the gaps open up a little bit. As we see Logan as well now in the pit lane. So that, as we said, those pit stops are starting to flow down. But still out in front, we've got Darren, and then Blake in P2 and Alex Court in P3. So Harry stays out. He didn't pit, so he really must have a fuel number he wants to get to before he takes his pit stop, as we can see him in the background there. He's got a little bit of damage. He must have the steering wheel straight or he would have pitted, but sitting there P11 as we watch Darren sitting in P10 as those other guys around him have taken those pits. It's a very tricky pit lane to enter as well, as Harry's had another spin. It turned 3, same corner, so he must have a lot of damage in his spun. He's sitting in front of the track, gets it going again, and he's dropped down a few positions into 15. So it's not Harry's best day. He doesn't like this track, but another mistake at the same corner. Is it the same mistake? Oh, he's just gone deep. Straight into the fence again.
This track seems to be one of those tracks where it's a love-hate relationship with the drivers. You either love it or you hate it.
Yeah, I'm one of the people who actually love this track. If you can get it right and get a nice rhythm, it's so much fun to drive. But if you get it wrong, and then you 9 times out of 10 get it wrong the next lap as well.
I'm one of those rare people on the fence, I think. I think it depends what car you're driving. It can be very enjoyable, but in certain cars, it's just painful. And if you don't have a setup especially, it's almost impossible.
And setup is key around a track like this. So as we see 2 more drivers in pit lane, Chad and Darren from the front. So we see all these boys taking their pit stops now. On lap 20, we're halfway through the race. It's been semi-action-packed, this Super 1, but this week, it's like they've taken a big step back and took a breath, and they didn't want as much action and packed in passing, but it is hard to pass.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's one of those tracks that passing, if you can't do it on track, do it in the pit stops. That's very crucial.
I think Harry stayed out again. I just saw his car still damaged driving out there, so he didn't take a pit stop. See if he locks up again into turn 3. I think he made it through there in one piece, so that's good.
Yeah, watching David Kirby now come through turn 4 and 5. Takes the apex nicely. Oh, commentator's curse once again. Gets very squirrely. The rear end just stepped out on him. And that was very...
Right out sideways, to put it nicely.
Yeah.
He was drifted right at that corner,
Very
and he
nicely
was
sideways.
just showing off that beautiful
Sounded
red
like a bit of
fishy
contact on
motorsport
the
car.
rear there.
But yeah, it did sound like he hit the wall. The right side of his car is nice and clean, but the left side's got a lot of damage. It's a great shot there. As we see Alex as well, McManus in the pit lane. Stefan, Lindsay, and I think... No, that's it. All in the pit lane now, taking those pit stops. Blake Delaney's still pushing on. He did a 131.7 last lap, compared to Darren in first place, who did a 131.3.
Yeah, Darren Crosby in P16.
So we did notice as well in the
car.
Super 2 race that these guys did take a little bit of a breath during this period of the race, and gives us that chance as well to have a breather until that heats up all over again.
Yeah, I've had a couple of toilet breaks, if I'm honest. Oh, the 29 car has gone off, and that's caused Darren Crosby to have a little bit of an issue as well. That's Chad Lewis. We'll get the DSL Welding action replay. I think it was just a lock-up into turn 3.
Seems the drivers are all struggling with this corner today.
Big lock-up, but thankfully didn't have to take too much exit road and was able to get it underway again.
Backs it up and gets back going.
I would have just spun it around, but I suppose conserving the tyres, so he's kept it going.
Yeah, but it seems to be a lot of drivers making mistakes into that turn 3, as we see Harry again in the background into the fence. I think that's number 4, maybe 5 for Harry into the fence. See Ty Byrne now as well in P11, car 64.
Oh, sounded like a little bit of contact with the wall. I don't know if that was just me.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of damage now on the left rear. We need to stop going to different cars, because every time we go to a car, they seem to have a crash.
Trying to give everyone the coverage. As we can see behind these two is Logan Barnett and David Kirby behind Ty Byrne. See them steaming down into turn 3. Right on the exit, you can see taking a little bit of grass and using absolutely all of the track. Logan Barnett trying to catch up. Oh, very, very close. Almost making contact there as he gets that rear end. Misses the apex. That rear end stepped down on him there into the corner. Maybe locked the rears a little bit. As we'll go on board now. The battle for 11th. Trying to really catch David Kirby. As breaking into turn 7 now.
Yeah, he's got fresh rubber on. He only pitted a few laps ago, so he really wants to use all these tyres now and get past.
Yeah,
David
especially with his little spin. He's going to want to gain as many positions as possible after touching that wall. Get back into the rhythm. You can see they're almost touching that wall and using it as a little bit of a buffer. But they're not. They're just that close to it. It's incredible. So we cut to Chad Lewis. Having a look at the 66 car.
yellow Hornet car of Chad. It's just, I like that design on the side of that. Looks good.
Certainly does.
It's another good car out in the pack in the Super 1 series that stands out and just it's different that you don't normally see. The yellow Hornet car.
And we've just had one of the Sinkovich brothers say that Lob is amazing. So a bit of commentary.
As Lob's in the pit lane as well.
Sure, he's taking tyres.
So that gives Blake Delaney the lead, or Mr. Blake Delaney. And Alex Cord has followed Lob in the pit lane as well. So should start getting a bit hot. I think Jamie as well. It's pushing hard out there. Well, beautiful chopper shot.
Lap 18 is it now?
Lap 23.
Lap 23. Oh my god, my quality is not where it should be at the moment as we're watching Chris Ireland taking on the number 52 car. And that is, oh my god, something's wrong with my game. How do I turn off Shibby? That was an accident, I do apologize. How do I turn off this thing where it keeps moving my camera? Because I hate it. No, I can move the camera, and I don't know why. Oh, it must be.
If we see a car out there today as well that hasn't got damage on it, well, I don't think they're pushing hard enough. And especially if it's on the left side of their car, we see a lot of cars in this race that have all got scrapes down the left side. So we know that probably the last sector, the second last corner, they're all using that bit of extra road, smacking the wall.
Alex McManus making a nice move into turn 4. So we're now watching Tim Harris, the 93 car for Locked On Sim Racing, having a go at Alex McManus.
Oh, he made a mistake. So he made a mistake, and that's how he capitalised.
And it's a quick one.
So he had a bit of a lock up, hit the barrier, I think, and definitely capitalised straight on that. Which I think that was Alex McManus who made that overtake. So, yep, if someone makes a mistake around here, you don't sit there and wait, you capitalise straight away, which is what he did, so well done.
Yeah, good racing from the boys.
Oh no, is this the leaders? The leaders, yes, the leaders are in the fence. So it's Blake and is it teammates as well, isn't it?
Blake Delaney and
involved.
David Kirby.
As we get the action replay.
Apologies, I've completely missed this. I don't know where this has been seen.
Oh,
wow,
it.
that's a big one. That's a big crash.
Yeah, he went too
Gotten
deep
it
on the
out
brakes.
the way, and so did David Kirby.
Wow.
Wow, that's an interesting mistake. We don't see that very often from Mr. Blake Delaney. We'll go to the action replay.
It's forced in the pit as well.
Way too much speed.
He's forced in the pit, and he's got... I don't think he's pitted as well, which is good for him, but still, he's going to lose a bucket of time there.
I can still move my camera again, Chibi. What's the button to turn it off? Okay, hang on. Apologies, guys. I'm having technical difficulties on my end.
So
I am
this is the
enslaved.
battle for currently P12. Timothy involved. Tim Worthy, sorry, and Alex McManus. 3-car battle. Not much happening apart from the damage on the side, and the boys are pushing. It's all just Christopher spun. Turn 2, 3, turn 3 again. Seems to be the hell corner for these guys today. Turn 3, everyone's having a bit of issues down there. But you always push the limits to find that extra bit, and it seems like these boys are really pushing hard. whereas we're on lap 26 of 40. And most of our pit stops are done, I think, if not all. As yes, Darren's back in the lead and Jamie Dyke is in P2 and David and then Alex in P4 and P3. And I think Delaney's dropped all the way down to P7 after that mistake. So it's a bit unfortunate for him. As we ride on board with Tim
Harris.
I'm having the worst English at the moment.
Just in front is Alex McManus, and apologies everyone, I'm having some big technical difficulties. So
He locks up, he gets a little bit compromised on exit, but not much room to pass down here. He's in the back section of the track, coming up to the front straight. Even though it's not really a front straight, it's more of a front boomerang, I guess we can call it. I think the Americans would like that as a compliment, calling it a boomerang. But you can see this, how much the track has, the humps and the elevation changes. Doesn't look like much on the aerial views, but once we ride on board, it's just, they're everywhere.
So, Blake Delaney, P7, lost a lot of ground. Having a look at Stefan Lawrence.
And it sounds like he's still saving fuel.
Now, if he was forced into the pits, he was able to take his fast repair, thankfully. And it was about the time of the pit stop, so he may have lost a little bit of ground. I don't know if he took a pit stop before. He was saving a lot of fuel. So I'm sure that that was his first pit stop. So I think that, not benefit him, but for lack of a better word, yeah. Big fuel saving.
And he's currently sitting in P7, so a bit of fuel saving. Sitting behind, not really fast at the moment to get past. So he's just going to sit in his rhythm as he sits behind Stefan, and then you got Michael as well up the fuel, just a couple of seconds up the road.
Yeah, it's it definitely sounds like he is fuel saving. That's for sure. So we'll see if he's underfueled. Maybe he's underfueled the car, or what's going on there. We'll have to wait and see towards the end of the race. But it looks like he might have the move here on Stefan Lawrence. Just needs to get that exit right and not screw up this corner like he did last time. Brakes nice and early. And gets it right this time. Made up a lot of ground in the braking zone there.
Yeah, and you can still hear his engine just turn off for that second. As you still hear, it's very quiet. He's still saving that fuel, so he must really be tight on his numbers.
Yeah, he's saving everything that he can, so he really might have, but he's still gaining ground on Stefan Lawrence, so he's got the pace and he knows how to do it, Blake Delaney, so well, we should see him get maybe 1 or 2 positions after this.
That's right, and he's still saving fuel and still sitting on the back of the car in front. That's pretty good. And the numbers he's pulling out is a 32. So we see Timothy here make a mistake. Timothy. Chad. Let's just see the replay of that. Was the yellow Hornet car, goes down the inside, grabs the curb too and pulls it up. So, well done, Chad. What a great move. Nothing better than seeing a car grab the curb and get 2 wheels up in the air. It's always good to see on TV. So,
ooh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, it certainly does look good. As you can see, Blake Delaney is getting very, very close. And it's right here. He gains a lot of time just behind as we cut to Tyburn, the 64 car. He's chasing down the 55 of Stephen Kennedy.
Oh, he's got a really good run there.
He has it. He's got an incredible run through the corner, and he's going to, clear him easily into turn 3. That's a beautiful run there from Ty Byrne, and you can see they're right up against the wall coming into the corner.
That looks like a much better, cleaner 081 car. No damage on it now. So hopefully Harry's fixed up those mistakes and can push and try and recover something out of this race, as he's sitting right behind these boys in this battle.
What lap are we on?
This is lap 29.
So, 10 laps to go, 11 laps to go. We've still got Darren Lobb leading this race. I might just go get an update from him really quick. Tyson, if you want to continue on.
Oh, we got a lock up. But as we cross away, I think that hopefully it wasn't contact there. But yes, not a problem. So you see David Coleman in P3. He'll be pretty happy with that at the moment, sitting nice behind his teammate Jamie. So they seem to be pushing together, working there. Alex is behind in P4. And as we saw before, those guys are really battling hard. So these teammates should be working together, try and build that gap away from Alex. And Michael sitting behind 7 seconds off that pack there. So we see Blake sitting behind is it a lap car? No, he's still rattling, sorry. So he's battling Stefan for P6 at the moment as he's pushing quite hard behind. You can see he's not really saving fuel in this middle sector anymore. He's really trying to get in the back of him and compromise and get that position.
We've actually got something very special, boys. Darren Long has agreed to join us in the broadcasting channel. And here he is now. Darren, our race leader in the broadcasting team. Darren, you're leading by about 15, almost 16 seconds at the moment. How are you finding it out there?
Hello boys, I'm going to see how good I can multitask us around Detroit. Yeah, pretty good so far. The first stint was quite tough at the beginning. Logan had pretty good pace, and I think once he got past Blake, he was actually catching me by a couple tenths a lap. I think then once the tyres stabilised and the setup stabilised, I started getting a gap, and it looks like he made a bunch of mistakes and got into the wall somewhere. So since then it's been a little bit, yeah, kind of just cruise, keep it safe, but make sure to keep the concentration up, because this is one of those tracks where the minute you start taking it a little bit easier than you should, you find a wall somewhere.
Yeah, it certainly is. We've seen a couple of the drivers fuel saving. Have you been fuel saving at all during this race, if you can tell us?
Oh, not even an ounce. I was actually busy chatting with Nashi, who was spotting for me that I just don't get fuel saving around this place in terms of the fuel tank limit and race distance. I think it's far easier to just get going and run lap time than save fuel around here. It's just too difficult to save enough fuel for it to be meaningful. And I think if you're seeing the undercuts and the relative lap times now, I think you probably see the point.
Yeah, I certainly do. I mean, you bliss everyone at the moment with that 15-second gap. I just want to ask, for everyone at home, what is your I rating?
Shucks, you're catching me now. I think I'm on about 4,500. This is probably the embarrassing part, is I've probably been on iRacing for about 10 or 11 years. And yeah, I don't do many officials. I got to a point where I used to do supercars kind of strength of field on a Monday night. Yeah, it's 4,500, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it should be higher, it should be lower, I'm not sure. If I climb in the GT cars now, I'll probably get given a bit of a beating by someone.
Oh no,
the supercars I'm alright holding my own.
For those of you who are new to iRacing or aren't too aware, 4,500 iRating is nothing to scoff at. He's being very modest here. Anything I think above 3,000 is, I think, a very good iRating. So 4,500 is very, very good. I'll drag you back up, Darren. Thanks for joining us here, and we'll let you get back to concentrating on the race.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Thank you. Nice to join you and do something a little bit different mid-race.
Yes, thanks.
See you at the end, hopefully.
Yes,
Thanks,
definitely.
Darren.
How's that, Tyson?
Oh, definitely. He's out there cruising, and as I always used to say, the one arm out the window trick. You know, he's happy to talk, cruising, doing some good lap times, and yeah, as you said, that first stint was a bit here and there, but what I was interested to hear, that they're saving fuel. You know, if he's not happy saving fuel, he's leading the race, well then I think he must be on the right strategy.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to hear from, you know, the race leader. So we see Blake Delaney, our championship leader, I believe. He is not fuel saving, he is fuel saving, sorry. So interesting to see the two different strategies in play. Darren is, you know, just so far ahead, and he said that he was cruising. So could we see even more strength from Darren here on SRW TV?
Well, that's right, if he thinks he's just cruising out there, and there's nothing better at a track like this, you can get into a rhythm and just cruise along. As we see a battle here to Blake Delaney. Is that Stefani's behind? Oh, look at these nose to tail. These guys are pushing really hard. Blake runs a little bit wide.
He's having a look. Oh, he goes up the inside. Does he get the move done? He won't get the run out of the corner.
Stefan gave him all that room there. Well done. Great racing.
Is Lindsay Hobbs is behind them.
We might see something like last race where these guys battle and then the third party compromise and gets through there. As we see as well. Christopher having a look down the inside, pulls it back out. No. The curb as well. I love that curb shot. Is that oh no. Chad has got a bit of a damage there. The beautiful Hornet car, as I'm nicknaming
That rear
it.
end is gone.
Oh, he's
So's
got damage to the front, yes.
He's had a big incident there.
We got a replay of the actual incident, so we're just going to check that out. Just going to try and find it. And he's forced to pit as well. He had to pit, unfortunately. So that damage is really bad.
As we go back to our leader, Mr. Darren Lobb.
So he's got a 16-second gap to the car behind him, which is really comfortable.
It's almost 17 seconds at this point.
That's right, yeah, nearly 17. He's just pulled 3 more tenths in 3 corners, so Jamie's just cruising. Then David isn't as close as he was the lap before to Jamie, and he's actually under pressure from Alex Court. So Alex Court's right behind Coleman at the moment, so that's the battle for the podium as well. So Alex, you know, we know what Alex is like if he sees a position available, if he wants to take it both hands. But that gap is definitely opened up to Jamie Dyke for these boys, so which is a bit easier for Jamie. He can just cruise towards the end. He'd be pretty happy with the second place, especially after his last result. As we run onto the back semi-straight again, as it bends around and sweeps to the right, sweeps to the left. Is Alex going to have a look down the inside? He does, but ooh, the braking from these boys. The braking from these boys. They both braked at the exact same time as well, and they pulled it up, so well done.
Alex Court is really wanting to get past him now. This is for the podium, and it's getting very, very close. There's 5 laps to go as they come round the next couple of corners. It's going to be a lift off here and then full throttle all the way to the end.
As you can see, like while we're riding on board with Alex, we can really hear the throttle control of these boys, especially now they've burned a bit of the tyres. They're, you know, just trying to get home. 5 laps to go, plus make positions. It's really hard. They've got to control that throttle to get that exit, so you don't, you know, get wheel spin and maximise your exit. As we see a move, Chris. Oh, he's hit the fence. Is he? Yeah, he gets away with it. He gets away with it just though. He went very deep there. And that's the battle for 11th battle for 11. But he didn't pull that off. Is this a lap car? Oh, Harry's just, whoa, it's going to be, no, he gets away with it. And as you see again, the 081 car has damage on the front left. It's just not having the best of luck today, Harry. As we switch back to the battle for the podium. Playing it nice and friendly at the moment. Alex is sitting there waiting for David to make the mistake so he can capitalise on it. And as we see now, it's turning into a four-car battle here. Michael's right on the back of this train, so it's always exciting when you get your teammate involved. So it's pressure from the front, pressure from the back, and you know, Alex is stuck in a fishy sandwich at the moment, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Is Michael going to capitalise on this? Because it looks like Alex is looking in the mirrors because he's running a very defensive line into turn 3. Is he going to hold the line? He does. Is he going to pull a pass off though? Hang on a minute. No, he pulls out of it. That would have been quite interesting, a defensive line into a pass.
Oh, sorry. Just coming back in there, sorry. I had to deal with some personal issues. As I'm back now. Apologies, everyone. As just been watching this battle. Alex Court, you see how close they are to that corner on the right-hand side. Any closer and they'll be hitting it.
And as I said before, this is turning into a good 3-car battle, and it should be quite interesting.
It's Chris Island's now looking for a move on the 93 car. Tim Harris. But we're back on board with Alex Court, who's right on the back of David Coleman. Michael Whiting's now in this battle for P3. This is 3 laps to go after they cross the line after this lap. So about 3.5 laps to go, 3.25. It's very, very close.
And we got action everywhere. It's like we look at the back, the middle pack, the top 10, the podium. It's everywhere. Everyone's having a good battle, as we said. These late stages of the race, everyone's going to push and try and capitalise on those positions. They're running out of laps. See who can get done. That's Alex caught in a fishy sandwich. Will Michael Whiting capitalise and get up there, or David hold on to the podium?
We've got a good battle up the front here. Blake Delaney and Stefan Lawrence having a little battle. Sorry, not up the front. That's P6 and P7. As you can see, the front left of Blake Delaney's car has quite a substantial little bit of damage there.
Oh, he's blocked the rear. He's ran wide.
He's gone wide, but so is Stefan Lawrence. So Stefan, trying to avoid that one, has made the mistake, and Blake is able to hold the position.
So everywhere we look, there's just battles, and Alex is seeming like he just wants to put the nose down there, but he can't get it there. He's looking everywhere. But as you see, David just holding those right lines, as Alex, I think, just gave the wall a little bit of a rub. He's running out of laps to get this done. We're nearly an hour into the race, and there's only 2 laps to go.
As Alex McManus goes up the inside of Chris Island, can't get it done. Chris is going to get a better exit. Sorry, Chris Island going around the outside of Alex McManus and getting the move done. A little touch with the wall on the exit there of turn 4, and through turn 5 now gets the move done. So that's a great move there.
Oh,
as
no,
David Coleman going into the pits.
Maybe David did one of those fuel strategy things.
Yeah, maybe he's had to. Maybe he's lost out on fuel, but Michael Whiting is still on the back of Alex Court, so this could still end up with a fishy podium. They've got Jamie Dyke in P2, who's just up the road. Alex Court, does he have the tyres to defend from Michael Whiting, who has been sitting behind and watching this battle for several laps?
As we just went over the hour mark, and there's 1.5 laps to go. Who's going to get that last spot on the podium? Is it going to be Alex, or is it going to be Michael? It's going to be interesting to see this last lap dash, as Jamie's definitely soaked up P2 unless he makes a mistake, which is pretty common around here.
but Alex Court is not one to let a position go easily. He is very, very good at defending, and we did call him a wall here on SRW last season because he was that good at it. So we'll see if the Resident Wall can do it again and hold off Michael Whiting for that final podium spot. We've come to the white flag. Darren Lobb has come across the line. He's taken the white flag. These boys haven't just yet. So we come across the line now. Michael Whiting is dropping back just that little bit. Chris Island has had a bit of a mistake. He's dropped back 2 positions.
Yeah, Chris was having a great drive there today. He's really pushing hard. Made one simple mistake at the late stages of this race.
Blake Delaney got passed by Stefan Lawrence as they take the white flag. So this is the final lap here. It's the last chance for Lindsay Hobbs to make a move on Blake Delaney. Can they do it into turn 3? Got to have gotten a better exit. Looks like they're catching just a little bit. I don't think they'll be able to make the move. They go for it up the inside. Late braking on Blake Delaney. Are they going to be able to make it stick? They're going to stay side by side. A little bit of wheel spin. They're going to stay side by side through turn 4. A big lockup from Blake Delaney on the outside. But Lindsay Hobbs is just unable to do it. Stefan Lawrence makes a mistake in front. He's now involved in the battle. That's 2. That's 1 freebie for both of them. And this is insane. Here's Lindsay Hobbs now on the back of Blake Delaney. Can they get the move done into turn 4? Sorry, turn 7. They go to the outside. Looking for the cutback. Looking for the cutback. Very defensive from Blake Delaney. He's putting the car in a perfect position. Stefan Lawrence getting involved as well. This is some incredible racing from these 3 battling for P5. Darren Lobb takes P1 here on the Super 2s, and Alex Court holds off Michael Whiting on the line to take home the final podium position. What a race, and we'll see these boys come through. Lindsay Hobbs doesn't look like they'll get the position. Can they hold off Stefan Lawrence? Oh, just on the line. Was that Blake Delaney running out of fuel? That was very, very close on the line.
There's 2 gaps there of 0.081. It was Michael Whiting to Alex, and then Luke Hobbs to Blake Delaney. Both with 0.081 gaps. Wow, what a last lap.
Chris Island, what a move on the final corner. He comes through it now, and he'll be able to take home P11 from Tim Harris. A very eventful race for Chris Island, and that is incredible. He's just got it done. We'll hold on to it. What a race.
Yeah, well done to the boys. Well done. Very entertaining and a very respectable drive by everyone in the field today. Everyone kind of was caught up in their own little incidents, but I'll say again, Darren, well done to his win, and Jamie to his podium. Well done.
So we want Darren Lobb, Jamie Dyke, and Alex Court.
Get my timing screen working.
Now these boys just on their cool-down laps as there it is. Darren Lobb on your screens. As I'll take you through the race results. So Darren Lobb, our race winner, we spoke to him just before the race end as Logan Barnett going around there on the cool-down lap. And he takes the win by 15.3 seconds from Jamie Dyke. P2 for him. A good race from him. Alex Court making the moves up into P3. A good race. He held off Michael Whiting at the end there to take home the final podium position. Michael Whiting, Blake Delaney. Blake Delaney had that mistake. Unfortunately, lost out those positions. He was on for P2 that race, so unfortunate for him in P5. Lindsay Hobbs, Stefan Lawrence, Logan Barnett, who also had a mistake in that one. David Coleman, Darren Crosby, Chris Island, Tim Harris, Alex McManus, Ty Byrne, David Kirby, Harry Dodds, Chad Lewis, and Stephen Kennedy, rounding out your grid for tonight. Was a good one tonight, Tice?
Yeah, it was definitely good racing from everyone on the grid today. Super 2, Super 1, a very entertaining race and a well-deserved victory lane burnout for Darren in the car 99.
He's doing... Those tyres have got to be ready to explode at that point. He was doing that on the back straight and took it all the way into the pits, but I'll try and get these boys in for an interview. I'm just going to exit out of my iRacing. And we'll get a nice replay at the start. We'll get the boys in. And see what we can do. Tyson, you still there?
Yep.
Sweet. So I'll grab P3 into the comms box. Here it is, Mr. Alex Court. Alex?
I know.
Good race from you tonight, mate. P3, you got there in the end. Held off Michael at the end there. And David Coleman, I think you were fighting with as well. Talk us through the race, the start and the finish.
Oh, man, that was bloody hard work. I'll tell you that much. To do, what do we do, 40 laps around here, it's certainly takes your toll on you, that's for sure. But, yeah, no, look, the start. Yeah, look, I got it off the line without getting too much wheel spin, so that's, you know, always a positive straight away there. And then, yeah, you know, just worked my way through and, yeah, just made sure that I was doing consistent lap times and trying to look after the tyres as best as I could. So, yeah, pretty happy, to be honest.
Tyson?
Yeah, the tyres, how'd they go? They held on long because they looked like you were pushing, especially in the early stage. You just were on the train. You didn't really battle each other much. You just stayed there, worked on it. A lot of the guys around you were saving fuel, and then you just seemed to be just cruising along, waiting for the mistakes. And, you know, at the end, you come home in P3. So well done from my end.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I think being in that train early on would have definitely helped the tyres, that's for sure. So, and yeah, as you said, just wait for the other drivers to make mistakes when and if they did. So, yeah, look, personally, after last week's shocking race on my end, there's no better way to bounce back.
That's right. Nothing better than getting a podium after, you know, the bit unfortunate events of last week at Road America, especially coming to this track where it's difficult and it's hard to pass. You know, you showed that you got it.
100%. And, you know, to top it off as well, Dan Schultz, he got a P2 over in the Super 2s tonight. So overall, it's been a bloody awesome night for the After Dark boys.
Sweet. So, if you want to start thanking your sponsors, Alex, I'll bring in Jamie Dyke, our P2.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. Find the list. I don't want it to work. There we go. All right. So I'll start off with DSL Welding and Racing with Autism. Then we've got Corp IT, Dragonrc, Above and Below Stump Grinding, Tree Minded, Mod Tint, ABC Transport, AA Designs, DSL Welding Services, and Racing with Autism Australia again. Also, massive shout out to Gary Bradshaw over in New Zealand for tuning in every week. All the boys at After Dark, Scotty Barton for crew chiefing tonight and keeping me calm. Again, another shout out to Dan on the P2 in Super 2s tonight. Awesome drive by him. The Fishy boys. Awesome racing with you boys each week. It was nice to get one up on Blake finally. It would have been nice to have got Jamie there at the end, but yeah, look, it happens. Yeah, on to next week. Can't wait.
Oh, good. Thank you, Alex. Jamie, P2 tonight. Bit of an interesting race for you. How did you find it out there?
Shocking. Could have done better. Set up right. Fought with Alex when really we just gave up time to Darren. It was silly. And really, my drive, I wouldn't have gotten P2 if it wasn't for Coleman. So massive shout out to him. So yeah, but no, I didn't enjoy tonight one bit.
Tyson?
So P2, how do we please you, Jamie? Because I understand last week you had a shocking race, and then you come back P2, and I still can't put a smile on your face.
Oh, I had a shocking race last week, yet I loved it. And this week I got a podium and I wasn't happy. No, we're going to Watkins next week, so quite stoked for that. I love Watkins. So yeah, well, on to next week. Hopefully we can dial the setup in better.
Well, I'm hoping and fingers crossed that you don't have a round one repeat next week, and you're in the middle. So we've got to find that middle mark for you where you're semi happy, but you're angry, but you push, and we really want to get that out of you to hopefully get a win. So, but good racing tonight, Jamie. You definitely kept us entertained, especially at the end there with the strategy. What happened to David?
He pit a lap or two before the window opened.
Okay.
He ended up he couldn't save enough to make it to the end, which was unfortunate because behind me he was keeping up with me. So if he had have saved enough, he probably could have gotten that P3.
Yeah, it was definitely looking on for him, and I was definitely rooting for him. And it was a surprise to see him finally having a good race. And then I saw him coming to pit lane, and I was like, oh no, what's going on? But he'll definitely fight back and come back stronger next week. So,
oh, definitely. Coleman's getting quicker and quicker every week. He'll get there.
But yes, well done to you and your P2. I don't care if you didn't like it. Well done. So if you got any sponsors you want to shout out, man, give them well.
Obviously, I'd like to thank the team sponsors: Black Wolf Graphics, Precision Sim Training, DC Shades, Relax Marine and Game Fishing, Adrenaline Images, West End Mazda, Parramatta Isuzu, Parramatta Peugeot Professionals, Parramatta Great Wall, and Haval. And Coleman. This podium was all thanks to you, mate. So you did a sensational defend. Thank you.
Sweet. So on to our race winner, who we were able to talk to during the race. Darren Lobb, an absolutely dominant win tonight. Spoke to you earlier. I don't think much changed for you towards the end of the race. It was pretty smooth sailing.
I only realised after you dumped me back into my channel that I probably dobbed myself for the commentator's curse, saying I'll see you guys later if all goes according to plan. And then I caught a bunch of backmarkers, and one of the guys hit the wall in front of me, and I thought, oh, this would be quite an ironic, humorous moment if I'd really dobbed myself in. But yeah, nice cruise to the end there. I know I've read the rule book a few times, but I couldn't remember what the blue flag ruling was. And there were a couple of cars dicing up ahead of me, and I just thought, they're going to be throwing it all at each other the last 3 laps. So I just backed it off, took it easy, let them finish up their race, and cruised across to the end.
I mean, you had the gap to do so, I mean, may as well watch some action if you haven't been involved in much all race. I mean, you said the tyres were fine. There was no fuel saving. It was just I think you had your strategy and you stuck to it, and there was nothing else that could stop you, really.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I've learned with the supercars. You've just got to commit to a strategy before the race. I think, you end up getting into trouble in these cars when you start to chop and change a strategy during the course of a stint or during the course of a race. So, I had a look at what my fuel usage was, kind of had to figure out how many laps I could do on the first stint. And yeah, I saw little point in fuel saving, so it was kind of just run at a pace that's comfortable. And with a track like Detroit, you just got to get into a really good rhythm. And I made a decision to run as long as I could, run the tank dry in the first stint. And I didn't want to get caught up with guys at different pace and different sets of tires. So it was pretty good. It's a good makeup for what last weekend was. I was bloody gutted when the PC crashed or the mechanical kicked in, whatever you want to call it, because I felt like I was controlling things at that stage, albeit the gap wasn't as big. But yeah, anyway, I'll take this. It's nice to be back on the top step, and I'm going to need a couple more of these if I'm going to try and get myself back into the championship, I think.
Certainly will. Tyson, anything to add?
Yep, just from my end, man, I just want to say congratulations on the race. You've controlled it well. Definitely a big bounce back from, the mechanical failures as last week. In the comms box, we had the same, and I think as well as a group, we bounced back hard, strong. So big congratulations to you, man, and well done.
Yeah, cheers, man, and thanks and congrats for you guys bouncing back as well.
Alrighty, well, Darren, if you want to read out your sponsors really quickly.
Yeah, I suppose we're going to do that at the end. The guys that keep us enjoying it. So, just a big thanks to my team, Samarix DPR, and then Bruce and the team from Mag and Turbo, just for chipping in and jumping in with me this season. It's nice to team up with some different guys, and shout out to Nash, who jumped into Discord and gave me a bit of a spot during the race. Otherwise, it was going to be a lonely 40 laps on my own. And you guys, thanks again. I actually went back and watched last week's stream, and despite the troubles you had in the commentary box, it was a pretty enjoyable stream. So I'll look forward to going back and having a look-see tonight.
Oh, thank you very much. I think that will bring us towards the end of our broadcast. Thank you to the three of you for joining us here in the comms box, and a big thank you to Mr.
Todd.
Shibby Howard. Not Todd, it is Nathan Howard, Shibby, our resident producer here, and of course you, Tyson, as well, for joining us tonight. One last massive shout out to our sponsors here on SRW TV, DSL Welding, Dragonrc, and Promo Department. Of course, we wouldn't be able to put on as many events as we do without them. Shout out to all of you guys at home for tuning in, of course, as well. Wouldn't be able to put on such a good show without you guys' support as well. So we do love to see you guys getting involved as well. And tomorrow night, we have the NASCAR trucks at Phoenix, the Legacy Phoenix track, which is the worst one. I would like to put that out there. That's my excuse already. It's on the worst track. I'll be racing in that one, and I think we've got a good coverage out ready for the race tomorrow night. So we hope to see you guys tomorrow, and have a good one, guys. Good night.